While it's just us in here at TikTok, man, I appreciate the opportunity to use your platform to connect with like-minded individuals. And with this in mind, we're going to use your platform with the utmost respect, not complaining about what we cannot say, but be thankful and be as effective and make the most out of what we can say. Mike, check what's happening. Peace, family, good energy, good vibes, high frequency, light and love. We're going to break the spell today. Getting started earlier because I got some ground to cover. I got some fresh downloads last night. And I want to share with you these downloads that I've received by way of the Most High and the light of the Most High. All praise be to the Most High for allowing me to be a vessel to share the revelations. It is a brand new day. A day nobody has seen before. Nobody has experienced this day before. Nobody tasted, smelt it, saw it, heard it. It's a brand new day, and each moment of this day is also brand new, which makes it the perfect gift. That's why it's called the present, and I am forever thankful and grateful for this moment because this moment is indeed a miracle. What's happening, family? Peace, everybody. We got some downloads. We're going to share with you. Trigger warning to the Christians. I didn't let nobody know I was live, so some of my regulars ain't even on here yet, but they'll be in here when they see me on here. I just took off. These are some downloads. I said we're gonna make sure we finna give them to the people. Trigger warning to the Christians. Trigger warning to the religious people that may hear what I'm about to share in this live. I don't know you personally. You don't know me personally. So this is not a personal attack. It can't be. We've established we don't know each other personally. But what is going to be challenged is your belief system and what you have been taught. And we're not challenging the validity of what you've been taught, whether or not it's right or wrong. That's not my concern. What we're going to look at is whether what you've been taught true or not. Before we get to right or wrong, we must first establish true or false. So I'm going to share with you some revelations. Some of the things I'm going to share with you, you're going to be able to accept. Some of the things I'm going to share with you, you won't be. We're going to help you understand the Bible. There are a lot of people that have left religion because of answers that could not be questioned, because of the condemnation that come along with certain religious beliefs. It's like either believe what we believe or you're going to be punished forever and ever, which causes what we call religious trauma. Because a lot of children end up converting to religions based on the fear that they've been given. You got babies being baptized 10, 11, 12 years old, joining these churches because they've been threatened with eternal punishment if they didn't. Then they get a little bit older and they do a little bit of investigating. And even though they're hit with the light of the truth because of the traumatization that they've been hit with, they can't accept the truth because they are afraid of the punishment if they don't go along with what they've been taught is right, even though they are coming into the knowledge that what they've been taught is not true. This is a result of trauma. Cause you to stay captive even with the door wide open. You won't be, ain't no rope around you, ain't no shackles on your feet, the door wide open, but you've been trained to be here and stay here and you bet not move or else. So when somebody come open the door, say, hey man, it's good, you come on out. You've been so traumatized, you ain't gonna move out of it. Mike, check what's happening, man. We gonna get to it today. I ain't in no hurry. Hope you ain't in no hurry either. So what I do is what we call Bible deconstruction. But what we are helping people to understand is come out of the falsehood by way of understanding how you got put in the spell in the first place. A lot of people don't understand the Bible, what it is and its purpose. The Bible is a law book. It's dealing with laws, what you call the old law and the new law, old covenant and the new covenant. And just like you can't walk in the courtroom and pick up one of their law books and start applying and interpreting and administering the law of this land, you can't do it with the book either. It's a law book. A lot of Christians hear the term law and associate it with a religion, and they say we not under the law anymore. But you don't understand we're not talking about a religion. We're talking about a nation that needs governing. For example, the United States has a law, does it not? The nation of the United States has a law. Now, is when you obey the law of the United States, so us or citizens or born here in the United States that's under the law of the United States, does that mean we practice the religion of America? No. Matter of fact, everybody that's under the law of this nation, they got different ideologies, different religions, different beliefs, ethnic groups, backgrounds. But what we all had is one thing in common. We are under the law of the United States. This what make us a nation. But the law of the nation is not the religion of it, is it? And everybody in the nation that's under the law of the nation is not tasked or expected to interpret or apply the laws of the nation. But those that are the lawyers and the judges, they apply the law to everybody, regardless of the religion you practice, Jew, Christian, Muslim, atheist. The lawyers and the judges are who interpret it and apply the law for you, regardless of your religious beliefs, because you are part of this nation. Well, in the nation that you abandoned, I say in the nation that you abandoned, you remember when you said you wasn't under the law? That means you wasn't a part of the nation no more. So in the nation that you abandoned, the way this nation and the governing of this nation was set up, the lawyers are what you call the priests. Oh man, we're gonna help you understand this book today. Where it came from, how it came, and who it applied to. Because when you hear the term law and you think religion, that's on your pastor or your preacher. They wanted to discredit your law because if they could get you to give up your law, you would cease to be a nation and you could be more easily ruled over. And you would have to obey the laws of the land where you are captive. We are reforming our nation, regardless of your religious ideology or beliefs. Just like you can accept the law of the land where you are and you obey the law of the land where you are, regardless of your denomination, ideology, or belief. Yeah, the nation that you came from, that this nation is a copy of, was set up the same way. You abandoned it. They came and got you to discredit your law. They said you didn't need your law no more. You didn't have to be a nation, an actual physical cohesive nation. So you've been scattered to the four corners of the earth because you ceased to be a nation. So let's make sure we understand what we got going on, because a lot of people pick up this book and ain't qualified to be a minister in a church's chicken, let alone a congregation of us. But they've picked up this book and taught you a bunch of lies. And because they've taught you a bunch of lies, you are more ignorant of the book had you never known it. You are more ignorant of the book ever after having listening to them than you would be had you never known it. Because it would be better that you didn't know anything about me than to believe a lie about me. True or false? Would it be better if somebody didn't know anything about you at all? Or would it be better if they believe lies about you? Which one would be best? I'm going to take my time today. May be a little long one, but I gotta do this because I noticed I got a few new followers, a few people that's in here, a few people that may not necessarily know what I'm coming from or why I'm coming. I'm helping the people that have left religion that still want to understand the book and what it's about and what it means outside of the confines or the condemnation of anybody's particular religion or doctrine. If you associate a particular religion or doctrine with this book, that's on you. I will say that is evidence of your ignorance. If you attach a religious ideology to these law books, it would be the equivalent of you making the law of the United States your religion. And you would only do that in ignorance of not knowing what the law was for. It is not for you to make a religion out of. It is only to govern your body. And mainly is to govern the dead bodies or the corporations. Let's take our time and help you understand what's been presented to you as a religion. We not dealing with we dealing with a kingdom. Let's get this understood. Everything that we are talking about from the perspective of a kingdom. Kingdom have a lot of implications with it. The kingdom implies family. Kingdom also implies government, system of government. Why do we call it a kingdom? Because in our human form, in our human existence, the highest form of power that we know, that we experience, is of mother and father, king and queen, the human level. And we are talking about a source of power. It's what the word Elohim mean. It means the powers. And we can only understand or relate to the concept of powers because you cannot see powers. You see the manifestation or the effect of it, but power itself cannot be seen, only experience. So when we look for ways to define and understand the concept of power, we look to the highest levels that we experience of the phenomenon, which is mother and father, king and queen. To get beyond that, we go to thunderstorms, hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, thunder and lightning. These are examples of power. And this is what's being described, but as it relates to us in human terms, we define it as it relates to us in family, in our existence. Where do you come from? I came from my mother, but I was placed inside my mother by my father. This is how we understand the Most High. As he said, you are gods, but you're going to die like a man. But more specifically, I said you are gods, but you're going to die like a descendant of Adam. Because you didn't come from the descendants of Adam. But when you descend, let's take our time. What's going on in this kingdom? When the Most High began to create, and we talking about the powers that cannot be seen, only experienced. The creation takes place from the kingdom. We know that the book started in Genesis. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We know where the book started. But the story is revealed in the book of Revelations. That's why your pastor and preacher don't teach it. He cannot. So we're going to help you understand the beginning before the creation, because the war in heaven, according to the Bible, took place before creation. So we're going to help you understand the things in the Bible that the Bible reveals that took place before creation, so that you can understand the setup, the dynamics, and the purpose of the things that you read, the why of it, because you see the what. We're going to help you understand the why. Let's get to it. First thing we're going to understand is we're going to go to Revelation chapter 8. We starting in Revelation chapter 8 today. I need you to understand where everything happened. We're going to start from the rebellion. We're going to start from the point of the rebellion or the war in heaven, as the book describes. Why are we starting there? Because the war in heaven took place before creation. And in order to understand the beginning, you're going to have to understand the end of the book. But the end of the book tells about what happens before the beginning, because you're dealing with a cycle or a circle, and we all been placed inside of this circle. So the end is the beginning is the end. The proof of, draw you a circle. Now show me the top of the circle. Show me the bottom of the circle. Ain't no top of no circle. Ain't no bottom of no circle. Ain't no beginning, ain't no end. All right, now let's keep going. We're going to make sure you understand. We're looking in Revelation chapter 8 today. Your preacher ain't never taught you this, because he can't. Your pastor ain't never taught you this, because he cannot. It is given to those that it has been revealed to, and I am sharing revelations with you. I'm not here to show you how special and great I am. I'm here to remind you of how special and great you are. I'm here to remind you where you come from who you represent. I'm here to share with you the highest form of worship so you can know what worship is, so you can come out of the ceremonies and rituals that you've been performing for the God of this world. That's not worship. That's the worship of the God of this world, because ceremonies and rituals don't have nothing to do with the condition of your heart at all. But that's how the God of this world is worshiped, because it's in vanity, it's vain, it's to be seen and to seem like something. But we dealing with the conditions of the heart. Ceremonies and rituals don't demonstrate where your heart is. You can't worship the Most High like that. Highest form of worship is imitation. Before we open up the book, let me help you understand where you are. Welcome to the land of the dead. That wasn't a near-death experience you had. You died. But that ain't the first time you died. This was just the most recent time that you died that you remember. But that near-death experience you had, that wasn't, you didn't almost die, you did die. But the evidence of this is how you go to sleep and wake up every day. It ain't the first time you done it. When you lay down and go to sleep, is it? Won't be the last. So listen to me when I say welcome to the land of the dead. Where are you? You're in a temple. That's where you are. You're in a pyramid. You are in a pyramid. You're in a temple. And in this pyramid, in this temple, there is a tomb and there's also a temple in this pyramid that you're in. And either you will exist in the tomb of it or you were in the temple of it. You thought I was talking about a building somewhere in some geographical location, didn't you? I know, but we're going to help you learn how to hear today. So it's a tomb and it's a temple. And either you is dwelling in your tomb or you dwelling in the temple or the king's dome. Everything that was made from the king's dome, the kingdom. We're going to help you understand some stuff today, but we're going to take our time. Peace, Queen, what's happening? What's happening? Listen, I didn't tell nobody I was going live today, Queen. I just took off and I knew you was going to find me and see me on here, and here you are. And now that you are here, let me pause and say this. Hey, y'all, there's people in the comment section that can answer your questions, because I get into what I call a flow. And I just go whatever the spirit put into me, I just take off with it. And I don't pause to read the comments until I reach a point where I can pause. But the people that's in the comment section that been rocking with me for a minute, that done learned and had some revelation of their own, so they ain't just going by what I said, going by revelation that they've experienced, they can answer some of your questions. They probably will answer some of your questions. Also, I'm going to remind you to represent yourself well before you get in this comment section. This is a place of learning, thanks to the divine feminine energy that I've been blessed to encounter on this app, on this platform. They advised me you would be better to teach and share the revelation with people that want to get an understanding than debating the religious people. Because the religious people bring with them a kind of contentious, combative, adversarial, accusatory energy that lowers the vibe. And we trying to vibrate high over here. So a lot of the accusations and the insults and the challenges I may ignore because of the intent behind it. So if you come in with a sincere desire to understand and learn and get a deeper exchange ideas, it's going to be evident in your energy. And if you come in to challenge, contradict, bring confusion, that too is going to be evident in your energy. And we just going to expose it. We're not in the business of accusing. We just going to expose it for all to see how your energy manifests. So represent yourself well here. All right, here we go. What was I saying? What was I at, man? We was in the pyramid. We was showing you the temple and the tomb. Which place do you dwell? Because, let the dead bury their dead, because they in the tomb. They at the bottom, or the root chakra. And then you got those that dwell in the temple, the king's dome, heaven, the crown. Yeah, so the pyramid is everything outside of you is a reflection of you, what's in you, even those pyramids. But we just got those built by people that understood who they were and represented it well. That's why I still stand. Ain't your ancestors special? So yeah, man, don't get, hey, ain't your ancestors, big up to your ancestors. Big up to your ancestors. Big up, you been big up in their ancestors long enough, ain't you? All right, well, big up to your ancestors that left clues for you to remind you who you are and where you at. We're going to help you understand these terms. So we looked at God, the powers, and we described different examples of how powers manifest unto us personally in our lives. The most immediate form of power that we experience is mama and daddy. It's the most immediate form of power that we experience in our existence. True or false? Because I'm speaking, we despoofifying these terms in ways that we can understand them and relate and walk on them, because your preacher or your pastor has done a disservice to your mind. You don't know what you're reading. You believe in it. If you run around here at this point in 2024 believing in the book, that means you don't know it. It means that's on your teacher. You shouldn't be, you should be past the point of believing in this book at this point. Do you know it was first put into print in 1611? 2011 made 400 years. And you still talking about you believe in it? Don't you think it's about time you knew it? Hey, man. So I was looking at something, man, before I get into this, man. Let me make sure I understand. The Church of Christ is where I was raised. I was raised in the Church of Christ. The Church of Christ say, if you're not a member of the Church of Christ, you're going to hell. Hey, man, if you got musical instruments in your church, you're going to hell. If you celebrate Easter, Christmas, and all, you're going to hell. That's where I come from. We wasn't trying to hear nothing of the church. So you have to hear the gospel, have to believe it, have to repent, you have to make the confession, and get baptized. I'm going to repeat that. The process to join this religion is to hear the gospel, believe it, repent of your sins, confess Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and be baptized. And voila, you in. This is what they teach you. But when you look and you go and break this stuff down, none of these 5 things have to do with a book. To hear the gospel. In the gospel, the word gospel means the good news, not the gospel, because we don't speak that language. We speak English. Gospel means the good news. You got to hear the good news. It don't say read it. It say you got to hear it. Then when you hear it, then you got to believe it. Now, this is the part that really gets you, the repent part. It's not something that you say. It's something that you do. Once you know who and what you are and realize how you are in a temple, either you are in your temple or you are in your tomb. You got to turn away from being in the tomb, come out of the land of the dead, come to the king's dome, dwell in the temple, because this is where you are anyway. You just don't realize it. Repent means to turn away from death, turn away from darkness, turn away from ignorance, turn away from confusion. This is what repentance is. Not the confession. You remember I said we speak English? I'm going to say something in English, but because you haven't been taught, you're not going to probably know what I'm saying. I am salvation, the anointed one. This is the confession that you got to make. I am salvation, the anointed one. This is the confession you got to make. Now, what I just said is I am, that's Yah, salvation, sure. The anointed one, Christ, Meshach. But either you are making the confession that Jesus, a person you are not a witness to, ain't never experienced, touched, taste, smell, or heard, or you talking about you know who you are. I'm going to leave it there. And then they say that's once you make the confession, this is the baptism. Now, your first baptism was when the water broke and you came out head first, smeared from head to toe, that's your anointing for the position in the kingdom that you are born into so that you can carry out your position in that kingdom. Then when you talking about this second baptism, this is a rebirth. When you come up out of here, this root chakra, you come out the tomb and you come up, this is a rebirth. You're going to see everything new. Nothing's going to be the same, just like it was when you was first born. You're going to have to learn how to eat again. You're going to have to learn how to hear again, because everything that you thought just had one meaning, you're going to find out it got multiple meanings, but you're going to learn how to hear all of the meanings at the same time. It's going to be miraculous how you hear. You're going to be able to see all the meanings at the same time. It's going to be amazing how you see. And you're going to realize that the people that sleep, they not going to be able to comprehend what you say anymore. They don't get it. You got to give them symbols for what you saying now. Because if you speak plainly, it's like you're going to put them to sleep. They only going to understand if you say Jesus the Christ. If I say I am salvation, the anointed one, oh, I just said the same thing. But don't we speak English? You think we dealing with consonants and vowels, or we dealing with the meaning? You hollering these names, but you don't know what the names mean or that they apply to you in different states of being. That's why you think Israel is a geographical location. Israel is you in a state of struggle against Satan. That's how that's how he got named. We're going to look at that today too. But all this, I got to make sure I'm starting early and I'm taking my time, because I know our people suffer for a lack of knowledge. You've been put under a spell. But the way to the Most High and the signs that you were given don't have nothing to do with letters or alphabets. You were given signs, not letters, not spells, not books. You were given signs to read. Don't get mad at me, because all you know is how to read or understand is the King James Version of your story. I'm going to repeat that. Don't get mad at me, because all you understand is the King James Version of your story. We're going to help you get past and beyond, and help you understand why you got it through King James. Because king, remember when you hear the term king, that imply a government. That you got your book and your understanding of the Most High from a government. A king. We don't let governments prescribe to us our religion or our God. You did. Your God came from King James. Your understanding, the term and the words you used associated with it came from a form of government that ain't yours. Let's help us understand. Everything that happened in the book happened from the kingdom. Where is the kingdom? In you. Even when you're not aware of it, guess where it is? It's in you. I'm going to repeat that. Even when you're not aware of it, the kingdom is in you. So everything that took place in the creation narrative is taking place from the kingdom, correct? Or did the Most High create the heavens and the earth from the heavens and the earth? He was in the heavens and the earth when he made the heavens and the earth. This what you think happened? Then that means Abraham Lincoln was born in the cabin he built with his own hands. That's what that means. Nah, that's not what that means. Everything that was done, when we say he, I want to pause here for the people, because I want to make sure we walk this thing down where we can drill it into your mind that you in a good place here. You all right here. You're going to get the truth here. When we say he, right, we are talking male as in function, not gender. The way power manifests to us in our relationship from the physical point, power manifests to us as male. Power functions within us as male. But hold on, because you remember I said we can't see power? You can't see nature either. You see the manifestation of nature. Everything around you has its own nature, but you know its nature after you see and experience how he move and how he talk and how he act. That's how you know it's nature. Now, when you look at what we call nature, in that is the wisdom of the Most High made manifest, made evident, made obvious when you observe nature. How is the wisdom of the Most High made manifest when you observe nature? Because nature replenishes itself and operate in a cyclical, synchronic manner. It is self-sustaining. The stuff that's growing here didn't need you to make it grow. According to the book, it didn't even need the sun in the sky to make it grow. In this is the wisdom of the Most High made obvious, that it is self-replenishing. This is how the wisdom of the Most High manifests as what we call nature. We are all placed inside of the circle because nature operates cyclically. We all exist inside nature. Everyone is inside the zero. Zero is the first number. She's round because she's pregnant. Everything point back to the way this thing is set up. When your eyes open and you can see everything around you, 360 degrees of awareness points to you. Let's keep going. We just gonna take our time as we understand when we say God, this is the power of nature and the experience of nature, is which is described as female, mother nature, because mother nature is the manifestation of the wisdom of the Most High, which is also described as female. That's why I said trigger warning to the Christians. But it's a reason why they deny her in your religion, because of where your religion came from, and it didn't come from you. But you're dealing with an imposter. You got the Lord of the earth. They didn't even tell you, you got Lord in this book. Let's help you understand something that your pastor, your preacher didn't. I know he didn't because you call yourself religious. You got Lord in all caps. Then you got Lord with a capital L and lowercase letters. Then you got Lord in all lowercase letters. Do you know the difference between the three? If you don't know the difference between the three, be quiet and listen and learn. You got to hear this stuff. And so I gave you all the examples of nature and power and wisdom that I just gave you come from things that you can objectively experience. I'm not bringing you, well, the book say God is this and the book say, We're going to go to this book, but first we're going to go to the higher authority than the book. See, the book quote nature. Nature don't quote the book because you quote from authority. So if you quote from authority and the book quote from nature, guess who got the authority? Oh man, they ain't taught you nothing, huh? They just gave you a set of beliefs. So let me help you understand. Now we finna get into the book. Let's get into the book. And the book is attempting to describe what we know of as the powers and the manifestation of the powers, and our relationship with the powers is that of father-child, parent-child. Father, mother, and child. Father put you inside of mama, and then that's how you come out. When I said welcome to the land of the dead, hey man, welcome to the land of the dead. Don't get mad at me because they taught you death was evil and bad and scary. We don't have a spirit of fear about nothing. Either you on one side of the river or you on the other side of the river. But I ain't nothing to be scared of on either side of the river. If you were given a spirit of fear, you got to take that up once again with your preacher and your pastor. There's no fear here about nothing. We just going to understand, let there be light, and make you be aware of where you are. And to help you understand that, when the apple falls from the tree, the apple is not being punished. The apple got to fall. It ain't because the apple was bad. It ain't because the tree was no good and didn't care about the apple. The apple must fall. be swallowed up, buried inside the earth, so that it can reproduce and come back forth, so it can resurrect, so it can ascend. Lord mean master, ascendant Lord. You got to become. Let's take our time. So the book say, and when he had opened the seventh seal, we in Revelation chapter 8, and I'm acting like this on purpose for those that only understand what I'm saying if I read what King James confirmed for you. So I'm going to read it with proper attitude that it should be read. Then I'm going to exhale as we prepare to go line by line, precept upon precept, because it's the only way some people going to get this. Everything I said is in this book, but some people won't hear it unless you read it to them out the book. Revelation chapter 8, the book is called Revelations because it reveals. What does it reveal? What does it reveal? It reveals what was hidden from you. It revealed what was in the dark. Don't your preachers and your pastors, they don't teach the book of Revelation. They will not. So it's been kept from you. You in the dark about what this stuff is. But Revelation is telling you about the inner workings of kingdom. And the things that took in the kingdom before creation. So the book of Revelation is at the end of the book, but it contains with it things that happened before the beginning of it, so that you can understand the cyclical nature of the information you've been presented with. Everything in it is going to show up as a circle, because you inside a circle. You dealing with degrees as you go around, and these degrees are levels of awareness, levels of trying to get you to see you. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. Silence. When you go with a bunch of bumping, huh? Lord, 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 God, Father, God, Mother, Source. Sometime when you come for the throne, baby, just be quiet. Just listen. And things will be revealed to you. It's nothing, when you understand what this is, then it's nothing that you need. There's no request or supplication that you need to make that's not already known. What you need is to hear. Listen. But you like to come for the throne and do a bunch of this. Be quiet sometime. If no other time, when you come before the throne, hush, put your hand over your mouth figuratively. Say nothing, so that you can get these seals broken and you can start understanding what's happening. Listen for the answers. It's called meditation. Your preacher or pastor might told you it's evil to meditate. You're going to have to take that up with him. The silence implies is some meditation got to go on. That's how you get silence. Got to block everything out. Everybody and everything got to shut up. Let's keep going. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar having a golden censer. I'm starting here. I'm finna show you where the rebellion took place, where the war in heaven. You hear about the war in heaven. Well, how did it start? Why did it start? Well, we're going to read it to you out the Bible so you understand about this rebellion. And then we're going to show you how this is a kingdom. We're dealing with a kingdom from our understanding of how the power functions in relation to us as a parent, creator, king. We have a system. Our body operates. It's a system that our body operates in. So it is governed by law. That's how you know the way that you govern your body lets us know what nation you come from. Because there is a nation that represents the most high, peculiar, set apart nation. And we know the nation that you are part of by the way you govern your body. Unless you don't have a law, which make you lawless. Then you got to obey whatever laws of the land where you at. Take our time, man. Make sure the people understand what's been done to them by way of the codes and spells in this book. That your pastor or preacher was down with your enemy, but you didn't know it. We gonna take our time today. We ain't in no hurry. And another angel came, so you got 7. Then another angel coming, so that make him the 8th. Because you remember that there was one that was of the 7, even he is the 8th, and must go into perdition. Well, here he go right here. Well, let's show you. We finna show you Lucifer, who you call Lucifer. Let me show you why he's called Lucifer. Let's look at it in the book, and we're gonna read the whole chapter. Because a lot of people be claiming about context. Then the main people that holler about context are the people that learned the book by way of the gospel first, even though the book don't start at the gospel. So you can't tell me nothing about no context, and your understanding of the book start in the middle of it. Here it is. Another angel came, stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints, upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. Listen, y'all, bear with the reading, line upon, and the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. Let me pause right here. So this angel, he had a function in the kingdom. His job was to collect the prayers and praise and supplication of the saints, the subjects of the kingdom, of the Elohim, and present them to the Most High. His job is to collect praise. He received the praise that's due to the Most High King, because the king ain't coming off the throne to do nothing, not even to collect his praise. So he sent his subjects to collect his praise, because he gave everything else to you, but all the praise is mine. Everything else you can have, but the praise, son, is mine. But what I'm going to do, because I know how you are, son, I'm going to send you to collect my praise and bring it to me. It's going to be your job. Because I know how you feel about this praise and being celebrated and being a celebrity and being a star. So I'm going to send you to collect my praise. Only my praise. From those that want to give me my praise, I'm going to send you to gather it from them. And their prayers and their supplications, I'm going to make you responsible for gathering that and you present it to me. Whoa, what a special job that is. You can't want none of that praise for yourself, huh? You can't want to keep none of it. You just collecting it and delivering it. And you got to do it happily, not begrudgingly. Well, let's see what happened. An angel took the censer, filled it with fire of the altar. That means he's profaning it. See, there's an order to the way things operate in the kingdom. And when things don't go according to order, chaos ensues. Chaos is an attribute of darkness. Order is an attribute of light. Remember, we are before creation. We ain't got to creation yet. We in the king's dome still. Walk with me, y'all. And the angel took the censer, filled it with fire of the altar, and cast it into the earth. Where was it supposed to go? It was supposed to go from the angel's hand to the Most High. Where did he do? What did he do? He took fire, profaned it, threw it down. He didn't want him to have the praise that was due. He didn't want to give the praise up where it was due, because he couldn't have it for himself like he wanted it. He said he threw it down to the earth. Now, where is the earth? What is the earth? Here it is right here. We in the kingdom, ain't we? Ain't we in the kingdom? Ain't no heaven. So when we talking about everything happening from the kingdom, this is the earth. Ain't no praise for this. This ain't made or constructed to receive praise. It can collect it and give all praise back to where it go, to the Most High, which is within you. But it's not designed to be praised. But we have this desire in us to want to be and want everybody to know how special we are. But our job is to collect the praise that's going to the Most High, and everybody talking about how special and great the Most High is. But sometimes we would rather that praise come to us. Let's keep going, because you say we in the pyramid, and either you in the tomb or you in the temple. Or yeah, or you in the middle. On your ascension journey to be an ascendant master. The word Lord means master. Who you calling on? Let's take our time now. Make sure you know what you've been saying. And there was voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. What did I just say? Those voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake are examples of what? Power. And the manifestation of power. The word Elohim means power. God, that's what it means. Here go the rebellion, y'all. And this was something that wasn't supposed to be done. This is something that went out of order according to the kingdom. And this also creates a vacancy. See, this angel, which means messenger, his job was a high-ranking and very important job. And when we talk about angels, you know these spirits can manifest on a lot of people at one time. The spirit of joy, the spirit of grief, the spirit of hate, the spirit of anger, the spirit of the Most High. I'm going to pour out my spirit. You know, it manifests on a lot of people at one time. So when we look at these messengers, when we saying how they manifest, they're going to manifest in a group of people. Because that's how spirits from the kingdom, that's how they manifest. It's how you recognize when somebody got the spirit of joy or the spirit of wisdom or the spirit of peace on them, because of how it moves you to say and do. You know the tree by its fruit, what it produce, what he's saying do. Spirits move you. Spirits of peoples, nations, and tongues described as waters because you move on the water. Man, let's just take our time and help you understand you so that you can know you when you see you, even if you are presented in symbols. Right now, you're in the womb, your eyes are sealed, your ears are sealed, your nose is sealed. That's because you're in the womb. You ain't been born yet. Take our time. Catch everything I'm saying. And the seven angels we had the seven trumpets prepared to sound. Why? Because they ringing the alarm. He wasn't supposed to do that. Wasn't supposed to go like that. Ring the alarm, sound the alarm. This is what kicked off the rebellion. This is what opened up the vacancy. This job has to be filled. This role has to be performed. Somebody got to do this job. So the Most High in his infinite wisdom, infinite love, infinite mercy, say, you know who I'm going to get to do this job? I'm going to send the baby boy. We gonna send the baby boy. The next child that I have, the newborn, the one that represents the continuation of the kingdom, he's also gonna be the high priest. I'm gonna repeat that. My new baby that I'm gonna get his job to, not only is he gonna be the king, the son of the king, the continuation of the kingdom, he's also gonna be the high priest. Because the job that was performed by the angel that collecting that's the job of a priest. That's what the priests do. So he's going to be my son, which means make my prince, my king, that's the future king of the kingdom. He's also going to be the priest, the high priest. And I'm going to send him to do the collecting of my praises as a baby. Why I'm going to send him as a newly weaned baby, not a newborn baby? He wouldn't be able to do it. As a newly weaned baby, about between the ages of 3 and 4 years old. The ring bearer walking down the little baby, because nobody's gonna begrudge the little baby, and when they see the baby and their face gonna light up, and all praise is gonna be due to the Most High, because you know when you cool and you gaga over the baby, who are you honoring? Their mother and father. But the baby, he don't want none of the praise for himself. He's too young to know what's going on. But, you know, this is what he's sent to collect the praise for God. I'm just helping you objectify when you get your baby. Everybody go to cooing and cawing over the baby. This is in honor and praise of the mother and to the glory of the father. That's why it's called morning glory in the morning, homeboy. When you wake up, you got your stiffy, and you stick that morning glory into your woman. And then you drop your seed off in her, and then the baby comes. So you being glorified, the woman is being praised. All praise. And I don't give my glory to. So we just going to take our time, if you understand, you. Because they've been telling you about them. The true ones are going to come and remind you of who you are. We know who we are. We need you to know who you are. This is what's going on. So let's take our time and read to you what your pastor or your preacher never did, never taught you, because he didn't have it in him to teach. He didn't have no business teaching you nothing. You starting to understand this now too. Let's take our time though, because this is what we're going to do. Our praise be to the Most High. If you understand what's being done, and the sign that's being performed right now, you can get it and see it. Our praise is to the Most High. Take our time and we're going to go through this stuff, these signs. 7 angels had the 7 trumpets because they are sounding the alarms. Now, when we hear the trumpet, it's going to start describing to you things that took place in the book of Exodus. And when the children of Israel gather at the mountain to receive the law of Moses, what they're going to hear is a trumpet. A very loud trumpet blast. The trumpet ain't a call for celebration, like you've been taught. The books say trumpet signify woe, calamity, alarm, not celebration. The people that you've been celebrating, you are being warned. Let's take our time and let's see what's happening. And the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the tree was burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. You're going to see this third a lot. Why? A third of the angels were in the rebellion, and a third of them got cast down, and the third of them manifest here. And the third of them went to creating and making stuff here. And what they created and made and manifest constitutes a third. And what they made and what they constructed is going to be wiped out. Is being wiped out, has been wiped out. So what you're reading is the blood and the hell, fire, blood, and hell. You remember Sodom and Gomorrah? We are outside of time. Let me pause. We are outside of time. When we read things that took place in the kingdom, we are outside of time. When we apply things that are described as happening outside of time or from the eternal perspective, eternity manifests as cycles. That's what it looked like. So what has happened before happens again. If it happened above, it happened below. And it's going to happen in cycles, because that's what eternity looked like on a physical level. It looked like cycles that we experience. Just taking our time. We ain't gonna go too fast because the people have not been brought into any understanding or awareness. You've been given characters to believe in. Bless your heart. They stood in front of you Sunday after Sunday and preached to you characters that they are not a witness of. That mean the testimony about those characters is false because you're not a witness of them. You cannot give testimony of what you are not a witness of. And we're talking about law books, dealing with covenants, not beliefs. You were given a belief. You were born into a family, and your family is a part of a kingdom. Let's take our time now. We're going to help our people come out of confusion today. These are downloads. These are revelations. This ain't nothing I figured out because I'm so smart or so special. They were revealed to me by the light of the Most High, and I'm sharing them with you. That's it. Take our time to help you understand the context of the book. Why there was a vacancy, why there had to be a newborn. So when we get to let there be light, this is the baby boy. We haven't got there yet. We gonna get there in a minute. First angel sounded, and the third part of the trees was burnt up. All green grass was burnt up. So Sodom and Gomorrah, you heard Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for something dealing with sexual orientation. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for greed. Go back and read the story again. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed from greed. So Lot's wife was told not to look back, right? She wasn't told not to look back. And she had a hard time and she couldn't help but look back because she wanted to see sexual deviance one last time. No, it was because of all her possessions, her big house, and all my horses and my cattle and everything and my dresses. I got to leave it all. She turned back to get one last look at what she was leaving behind. But the evidence of this third that we talking about, Lot's kids, his daughters, man, the destruction was so great, it wasn't nobody around for them to mate with. They had to mate with Lot. Because the destruction. We're going to help you understand all this stuff. That's why I said we got to take our time today. Oh man, so when you hear when you get to the mountain in Moses' law, the trumpet that you hear is the seventh trumpet. Yeah. Can we get to the seventh trumpet? Let's get to the seventh trumpet because we're gonna also help you understand about this Christ that you've been jumping up, hooping and hollering about and falling all out behind. But when I speak the name in English, the anointed one, I am salvation, the anointed one, you gotta know do you hear what he said? I just said Jesus Christ in English. Do we not speak English? Are we not dealing with a God of understanding or are we dealing with a God of consonants, vowels, and titles? Which one is it? So would it be better if you could pronounce the name correctly or would it be better if you understood what the name meant? Which is best? Because we're dealing with the most high. So we want to get the most high level of understanding of these terms. Yahshua, I am salvation. This is the confession you're going to have to make because we need to make sure you know who you are before we send you out. Well, we just going to take our time. We're going to look at some things right quick. We want to find the seventh trumpet. We finna read the seventh trumpet. Let me see. Come with me to Revelation chapter 11. Come to me to Revelation chapter 11. And we finna start at verse 14. Right? Now keep your finger at Revelation chapter 11, verse 14, because we finna show you what the seventh trumpet is. Don't get mad at me when I read it to you. I'm just gonna read what's in your book that you ain't read and your pastor ain't showed you nothing about. Bless your heart. But before we read that, I want to read Revelation chapter 8 and verse 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe. Look up the meaning of woe in the root word for woe man. Woe. Look up the meaning of woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet. Voices of the trumpet, because the warning is being given through the voice, and the voice is interpreted is of the three angels, messengers, which are yet to sound. Exclamation point. So it's saying that when you hear these other three angels blow these other three trumpets, the voice of these messengers, which is interpreted as a trumpet, a sound of warning, when you hear these voices, woe. Woe means calamity, awfulness, disaster. That's what woe means. See, the Lord, God made us in the image and likeness of God. The Lord made Adam from a corpse. He was not alive. He formed him. He was a body, made a body. Then he breathed into that body and made the body alive. But before he breathed into that body, it was just a body. That's where Adam come from. We're talking about the descendants of Adam only. And it's a record. There is no record of where we come from other than to say the kingdom. But Adam, we can trace to where he show up on the scene and who made him, the Lord. We just gonna help you understand Lord in all caps, Lord in capital L, lowercase O-R-D, and Lord in all lowercase letters, because you may not know the difference between the three. Nobody's taught you the book. And it take patience, going line by line, precept upon precept to break this spell for you. Because I can't just talk to you plain. You're going to think I'm crazy. All right. So woe is is mean calamity, disaster. It's something that's not good. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe come quickly. And the seventh angel sounded. And there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord. I said they never taught you what Lord in all caps, Lord in capital L and lowercase letters, and Lord in all lowercase letters. They ain't taught you the difference between the three. So I need you to pay attention that this is called a woe. It's not a good thing. It's not a cause for celebration. It's represent a transfer of power from the rightful rulers to the imposters. And that's why it's called a woe. But just like the Most High have his anointed, the impostor got his Christ. I'm going to repeat that. Just like the Most High have his anointed, the impostor has his Christ. Uh-oh. Well, let's read what the book say about it. The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. Of our Lord, capital L, lowercase O-R-D. What do that mean? That means master. Our Lord, anywhere you read it, mean master. But when you see it in all caps, that mean I am. When you see it in capital L-O-R-D, that mean master. Lowercase O-R-D, it's like to say husband or boss, landlord. But this L-O-R-D is master. The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our master. Because you know, slaves have masters. Sons have fathers. But let's keep going, because you may have been taught that this was a great and wonderful thing. But according to the Bible, this is a calamity. This is a woe. This is an awful thing. Let me show you why. Keep going. And of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. So you got the greater light that govern the day, life, and the lesser light that govern the night, death. And the lesser light that governed the night, the prince of the darkness, king of the world of the dead, that's where he gonna be from now on, forever. Let's take our time now. Let's make sure we just keep on going and make sure we understand where we are and why they so jealous of us. Because, we get to ascend and descend. But yeah, man, here we go. And let me stop teasing y'all. And of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders were set before God on their seats, fell upon their faces and worship God. The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. But mic check, the 24 elders were set before God on their seats, fell before their faces and worship God, not the Lord. The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ. The 24 elders fell when this happened. They started worshiping who? Who you worshiping. So the highest form of worship is imitation. So you see a lot of our people running around here trying to imitate Europeans. It's the best of their ability. Every time you turn around, you see somebody look like you trying to get you to imitate one of these Europeans. Act like them, talk like them, dress like them, and then you will be accepted and you will be put in a position. Because if you are everything, I give you the world. If you just bow down and worship me, highest form of worship is imitation. So you got a lot of people like us, look like me and you, trying to get you to imitate these Europeans. Act like them, wear your hair like them, talk like them. And if you prove yourself able to act like them and walk like them and talk like them and think like them, what you are doing is worshiping them. And in return for you worshiping them, they give you access to their world. But when you are a child of the king, and you come from the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, I'm the light of your world. I don't want you bringing nothing from your world into my kingdom because it don't have no value. I add value to your world because I know who I am. And I don't imitate nobody but my mama and my daddy. Because that's who I worship. That's who my God is. I'm speaking symbolically now. If you can only hear me according to the flesh, we're not going to let you make that our problem. The level where you are, there are different levels of awareness. And whatever level of awareness that you're at, that's the level you're going to understand what I'm saying at. We're not going to let you make your level of awareness our problem when we say mother and father. We're talking function as it relates to us objectively from what we've experienced. My father placed me inside of my mother, and then I came from inside of my mother into this earth, this plane, this realm, this existence. That's how I got here. Just giving it to you plain. So let's keep making sure you understand this transfer of power that took place at this mountain with the trumpet blast, because this is where the children of Israel gave their power and authority and gave all of the dominion that they had over. And the Lord became their God at that point. Let's take our time, though. I don't want to take y'all too fast because I don't want to go there yet. We need to stay right here. Our time, though. I don't want to take y'all too fast because I don't want to go there yet. We need to stay right here. It has never been a time where the power had to be taken and begun to exercise. We dealing with eternity. It has always been. But you got this imposter. He operate by taking. Because, his role, his position is not a natural one. Once he rebelled and didn't want to give the praise up where it was due, now you got to take something. Because he want the praise. That's what he want. It's not naturally his. It don't naturally come to him because our praise is due to the Most High, and he's no longer the one responsible for collecting the praise. So now you got to take it. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because how he's going to go about taking it. Confusion and deception is how he's going to trick you into giving you the praise to him that was supposed to go to the Most High. So you run around, Lord, 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 Lord. Now's the time of revelation. If you understand what's going on with you, who you're worshiping, who you're calling on, who you putting in position of power and authority over you, why your pastors and your preachers not qualified to stand before you and open up these books and teach you nothing out of it. I mean, not a letter out of it. Because they stood in front of you to tell you about characters that you didn't know and that they were in the witness of, and neither were you. So the testimony was false. Let me take my time because I get too far off the topic. Testimony was false. Let me take my time because I get too far off the topic. And of his Christ, and which was, and which art, and which was, and which is to come. Because we talking about this one that was in this position, lost the position, and then trying to come back for it. And the loss is what he's doing now. We're dealing with the loss. Trying to come back for the position that he lost by way of force. He want the praise. He want it. And have taken to you your great power and have reigned. The nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead. The nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. That you should give reward unto your servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear your name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth. The destroyer, Abaddon. Is it Abaddon? Abaddon, the destroyer. And the temple of God was open in heaven. And there was seen in his temple the ark of his covenant. That's you finna get ready to hit the scene. I got a plan. I'm gonna deal with you. I know exactly. Matter of fact, you so lightweight, I'm gonna let my baby boy handle you. I'm gonna send my youngest son, the baby boy, David and Goliath. I'm gonna send my baby boy to handle you. Show you what's going on. So, in a great hell, that was the seventh trumpet. The seventh trumpet is describing you the event that took place in Exodus, I want to say chapter 20. Where they got the commandments on the mountain, but there is a dual understanding of that, which I'm not going to get into just yet. We might make it to that point. But first, I wanted to show you how the rebellion took place, why the rebellion took place, where the word Lucifer, light bringer, come from, what his job was, which is a very high ranking and important position in the kingdom. And his job was to collect the prayers and praise that was going to the Most High from the saints. That was his job, to collect praise, to receive it. But the praise that he's receiving ain't his. He's just got the job of handling it and picking it up, but he got to drop it off somewhere. He didn't want to drop it off. He wanted it. So when I send the baby boy, the reason I'm going to send the baby boy is because the baby ain't going to want none for himself or herself. The baby is just going to delight to do the will of the parents. And being able to do the will of the parents is going to be the delight of the baby. That's when you send the baby to go do something, they run to do it. They happy that you called it. Mama said, bring me this. Boy, they falling over themselves trying to complete that task. And the joy and the happiness that mama called me to do it. Daddy told, daddy said for me to do it. The doing it is the reward. When you get older, when you're a kid and you get to wash the dishes, it's fun. It's great. When you get old, you got to wash the dishes, man. Give me something for it. I wash the dishes when you do something. It used to be you was a privilege to be able to wash the dishes. You get the little stool, you get to stand up there, play in the water. That was the reward. Now we got a little bit older. I want something for it. I want some praise, some recognition, and some validation. So I'm gonna send the baby boy, cause I know the baby boy ain't gonna want none of my praise for himself or herself. And they're gonna delight to do my will. Just to be able to be the one that I sent to do it is gonna be the reward for them. This is what we dealing with as a kingdom and helping us understand how we relate to it, how it functions. And this is outside of time. Baby, this is where we come from. This is us. Made in the image and likeness of the Most High. It's where we come from, y'all. Before time, outside of time. Adam started in time from a dead body, a corporation, a corpse operating. We talking about where we come from and what was going on before you even got to Adam or Adam being thought of, what we had going on in the kingdom. Because everything took place from the kingdom. Just helping my people understand how you've been played with at this book. We're going to help you break the spell today. Let's keep going. Where am I at? Okay, so you got the picture. Now, baby boy got to be born, right? Because we just seen that in Revelation chapter 8, there's a vacancy that was created, correct? The one that was supposed to collect the praises and give it to the Most High, it's a vacancy now. He can't do that job no more. He wants the praise for himself. If I send you to get it, I might not get all my praise. You might tuck some on me. I can't send you no more. Who I got to send? Well, you know, when I have a problem and I'm dealing with some opposition, if I got me a good woman to consult with, if I got a good woman, whether it's mother, grandmother, or wife, sister, if I got a woman I can consult with. So let's read Revelation chapter 12 and let's see what happened. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman. Oh, okay. Clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That mean royalty. Where is she? She's in heaven. We talking about the divine feminine, your divine mother. We talking about wisdom. And the wisdom of the Most High is going to be made manifest in this allegory. Let's read. It's a vacancy. He was supposed to give up the prey. He didn't want to give it up. He threw it down. Somebody got to fill this position. And we saying we going to send the baby boy to fill that position. So guess what? And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Because see, you know what your job is? You don't know. Why you think they hate you so much? I say your job. Do you know what your job is? Until you're able to make the confession, we can't send you to do it. Because you're going to be taking the praise that's supposed to go to the Most High that's within you, and you're going to be trying to give it to somebody or something else. So we can't let you have that responsibility till you know who you are. I am salvation, the anointed one, because I'm the one that collect the praise. And every time somebody said, all praise be to the Most High, ain't that what you do? Ain't that what your job is? Why you think you say that? Let's just take our time, man, and help the people understand. And she being with child, that means she's pregnant, y'all. Why? Because I'm sending my baby boy to do this job. I got to send the baby boy. So that means I got to get baby pregnant. I got to put the plan in the intention, in the energy, in the power, the morning glory. I got to put it inside of her so we can manifest as my wisdom and my strength manifest. We call him son. You are the strength and the wisdom of God made manifest. You are the light of the world. You rise and you sit and you go back and forth on this earth because that's the path of the sun. You operate and exist in cyclical, synchronic circles. And as you move about your cycle, your circle, you move about it in degrees and you are lit up. Don't get mad at me because you thought they was the stars and you didn't know you was a star. The stars of the kingdom of the Most High are unseen. Secret is sacred. The common is what everybody get. Say, man, when our queen mother, everybody don't just get to look at her and run up on her because we honor her. And we don't let common eyes and common people run up on our mama. I don't know how you do in your kingdom, but ours, she's held in a place of honor. You don't just get to walk up on her or just look at her. You don't get to see her just like that. You got to, you know how this go. If don't nobody just get to walk up on Queen Elizabeth, do they? Well, what you think? Okay, let's just keep going because we know that you haven't been taught anything. We know this. We know you've been given beliefs. Now we're going to take you into knowing. That's it. What you do with it is up to you. I'm not trying to convert you to nothing. How can I convert you to you? Please. Now let's just keep either you know who you are or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But we're so she's pregnant, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Because see, this angel that lost his position, this is how he gonna manifest. And he's upset about the position that he lost, and he know the child that's being born is being born to take his position. He want to stop that. So what happened? His tail drew a third part of the stars. That's the third of things. When you read in Revelation chapter 8 and the sounding of this trumpet, and you see a third of this and a third of that, this is why you see that third. Because you're dealing with the creation of Satan, who called himself Lord. Just make that plain for you. Because you're dealing with the creation of Satan, who called himself Lord, and his followers and his imitators and his worshipers, those that lie, cheat, steal, kill, and destroy. Because the highest form of worship is imitation. It's not ceremony and ritual. Every time you lie, cheat, steal, kill, and destroy, guess who you worshiping? Because that's who you imitate. Every time you buy Michael Jordan tennis shoes, Michael Jordan shirt, you shoot the ball, you say Jordan, guess who you worshiping? Guess who you idolize? Because that's who you imitate. I say, I don't imitate nobody or nothing outside of my mother and father where I come from. And for me to imitate anything or anybody outside of that, for me would be idolatry. For you, it would be your religion. But because I know where I come from, and I know the family that I come from, it's against my law for me to imitate anything outside of my family. I don't got nothing to do with your religion. That's on you. We're going to keep going. Make sure you understand what's the context of the Bible so that when we get to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, you'll know what's going on because you know all of the things that took place before you even get to the beginning of the book. We just showing you the beginning of the story. Now, let's make sure you understand what you're looking at. As soon as it was born, this is how the angel that was cast down, he manifests as these 7 heads. He's hovering over the face of the deep. This is the darkness that's hovering over the face of the deep. In the beginning, the Spirit of God that's hovering, he's the 8th. You remember there was 7 with the trumpets and then 1 came. Here he is right here. God said, let there be light. So the baby born is the light. Let's read it. And she brought forth a man child, let there be light, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. The light he called day. This light is placed inside of you, the greater light which rules the day. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne, and God divided the light from the darkness. Because the light is the baby boy. The light is alive. It's soul. This was placed inside of you. But we in the kingdom, and I said that these spirits manifest on a lot of people at one time. You ain't seen a room full of joyful people? Well, it was the spirit of joy that manifested on all of those people. That's how spirits work. And if ain't nobody showing you this, they shouldn't be teaching you about no religion. First things first, before you had the religion, you had the family. That's in order. We doing this in divine order. Because a lot of people don't understand that when we deal with a kingdom, that means we deal with a law. There is a law that governs this kingdom. We call it universal law, the law that governs energy. Then you got the imitation law. But it's not an imitation law, it's a low vibration law for those that vibrate low, that's dead, the law that governs the dead, that need governing for their bodies because they sleep. And it's the law that make them control their body, not the internal. Let's keep going. So she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations. And the woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,200 days. So first 3 days of creation. Let's look at it. I did this last time, but now I'm gonna do it again. So maybe you will understand what's being described, even though it's at the end of the book, it's telling you about the beginning. So those first 3 days of creation, right? First, once the night is defined, the darkness is defined, well, we'll read it and we're going to count how many times we have these phrases before we get to the vegetation, because the vegetation that grows is the first time that the light is made manifest in the flesh as fruit trees and vegetables. And trees produce fruit, and the fruit of the tree is the flesh of the tree, and you have to eat the flesh and drink the blood in order to have. So we just gonna keep going. Back to Genesis chapter 1, start at verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's the woman, she gave birth. This is who rules the nations. This is the light place inside of you. It's called your soul. Everybody that's around you don't have a soul. They have the breath of life in them, but they don't have the light in them. Because we talking about the children of the king, and then you talking about the outer subjects. And the children are supposed to be the lights. For those that don't have the light in them, they just have the breath of life. We are the ones that give them their law. We teach them how to build communities. We teach them how to govern. But we know that they're in a sleep state. So we have to make sure we govern them and be mindful that they are in a sleep state. Because if they're in a sleep state, while we govern them, we have to also make provisions for them about the governing of slaves. Because they in a sleep state. They like having slaves. And we are a light to them. So, okay, if that's what you're going to do, man, at least let me give you some light. Man, let me we be going to, I be going to. So, and let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the day is good because the light is day. And the reason that it's called day is because of the light. And the light that make it day don't never sit. That mean it never dies. It mean it's immortal. It mean it's eternal. Let's keep going though. In the darkness, he called night. That's what the absence of light is. Night. It's not called good. It's not called bad either. Why? Because if light is all there is, and in the light that's in the reality, then the night is the absence of light. That means it's nothing to call it. It's not. What do you call nothing? You call nothing bad is what you call it? Because once you call it bad, you know you made it something, right? Let's just take our time. It's unknown, it's unknowable. Cannot be expressed. It's not called bad. It's not called good. It's not called nothing. It's called the night. Let's check it out. And God said, hold on, in the evening, in the morning were the first day. What's in between evening and morning? The night. The night is not mentioned. as a part of the day. It is defined, but as the completion of the day, the night is not mentioned as a part of it. Evening and morning are mentioned. In between them, there is night, though. Need you to follow this because this is the first day, day one. Then we're going to come to day two. Let's look at it one more time. And the evening and the morning were the second day. One more time, we not mentioning the night. It's like it's in a grave. It's dead. It haven't been called forth. It's not mentioned. Then on the third day, what we got, the evening and the morning was the third day. Right? 3 days, darkness is not mentioned. And then on the first half of the fourth day, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. Now we get the night mentioned again on the first half of the fourth day, which will make that 3.5, correct? 1,260. First 3.5 days. The woman is out of the serpent's reach. Because the serpent is in the darkness, and the darkness is in the night, and the night is not mentioned for the first 3.5 days of the creation narrative. And nature, who the woman manifests as, is out of the serpent's reach, not governed or bound by anything the serpent got going on. So the fruit and the vegetation that you see that is brought forth on the third day got nothing to do with the sun. No stars or no constellations. Y'all understand what's being described? And then we're going to have this pause because we got to deal with the night. He knows his time is short, so we only deal with him one day. And then after that, we got the last 3 days of creation. 33, 3 and 3. And with one day being a set apart day. Because that's the day that we deal with, the day of separation, the day of death and regeneration. This is the day that we deal with that. So we have that day set apart. Back to the woman though, because I wanted to give you why your religion leave her out of it. When they say God and is he, and heaven is he, and ain't no divine feminine, and they go to shaking their head in their ignorance and confusion. Let me show you why your religion and your belief system don't include her. I'm gonna show you according to your book. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at your pastor and your preacher for not teaching you this book. They gave you a belief system. They gave you a doctrine called Christianity that they use this book to support. But they do not teach this book. The evidence is you call yourself a Christian. That's the evidence. You don't know what's in this book. Evidence is you trying to join Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Pentecostal, Holiness, Jehovah Witness, Catholic, Muhammad, Buddha, whoever. You don't know who you are. That's why you calling on them. Let's take who you are. We gonna use your book to do it. Your book. It ain't my book. We dealing with the living word. This book ain't alive. I am. Book ain't. Dealing with the living word. You got to hear it, not read it. Hear the word and believe it, not read it and believe it. Let's take our time, make sure you hear this stuff, man. All right, now, this dragon, hold on. He was snatched up to God, and the woman fled, and there was war in heaven. There was war in heaven. So when we look on this fourth day of creation, the creation narrative, we describing the war that took place in heaven, the darkness that's over the surface of the deep. That's the rebellion. The response to the rebellion is let there be light. The baby boy being born. But we talking about from the kingdom, the king's dome. Because this is as a response to the rebellion. Somebody got to take the place of the one that rebelled, don't they? All right, well, God is light. So when God say, let there be light, and everything come forth through his wisdom, the woman is pregnant. Wisdom is described as female. The Most High described as power. His power is made manifest through his wisdom. Just make that plain. Maybe it makes sense if I say it. The power is made manifest through the wisdom. Some people think power is made manifest through force. They got to take it. Power is made manifest through wisdom. It's natural. You don't got to force it. It is what it is. Take our time, man, because I know my people ain't been taught this book. So we just going to take our time and make sure you get it. There was war in heaven. When do the war in heaven take place? It say after, so the third day, on the fourth day of creation, the lights, the baby boy, 3.5 years, the first half of the fourth day, 3.5 years, 3.5 days, 3.5 billion years. There's no way to measure time on those first 3 days of the creation narrative because it wasn't no sun yet. And we measure time by the sun, the moon, and the constellations. According to your book, none of those things existed yet. So those first 3.5 days are outside of what you call time. The lights are sent out to do the work of the Father because they finally weaned on the first half of the fourth day. And baby boy, that's going to have the job of collecting the praise he's made as the greater light that governs the day. He's placed inside of you. And the lesser light that governs the night, that's the sun. Take it even deeper. And now we're going to switch and you're going to understand why the switch was done with Joseph. We're going to show you some stuff about Joseph too. We're going to get to Genesis 47. Don't let me end this live without taking you through Genesis 47 and showing you a few things. So the switcheroo happened when the greater light is the subconscious mind and the lesser light is the conscious mind. Because there are more lights. You got more knowledge and information and wisdom in you that you are unconscious of than you are conscious of. And we talk about light as from a spiritual, we talking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And you have more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in you that you are unconscious of than you are conscious of. So the greater light is symbolized with the moon and its constellations, and the lesser light is just symbolized your consciousness, your ego, your awareness of yourself, at whatever level of awareness of the self you are at. If your awareness of yourself is purely physical, then the sun is the only light you have. It's the only light you recognize and know and understand because it's a light that you can see and you only use 2 eyes. But you wake up to who and what you are, there is a greater light in you that lights your way. Those that wake up, you realize who you are a son of, who you are a son to. Then you're going to understand why you are so hated and misunderstood and lied on in this world. Why when you show up, it's people that just hate you automatically. Baby, it's not personal. They don't know you personally. But it's a light in you that existed before time itself that they recognize. Even if you not conscious and aware of it, they do. And they hate you for it. So yeah, man, we just gonna take our time with this thing today. This woman represent nature. So she didn't have to worry about the serpent when she manifested herself on the third day of creation. Nature manifests, the wisdom of the Most High manifests as nature. Everything that is made manifest has a nature. Yeah, because you got a mama. Everything made manifest got a mama. So when you represent that, even on an unconscious level, The enemy knows who and what you are. And they only hope of survival, their only hope of continued existence is if you never wake up to who and what you are. Because when you do, then the light gonna shine, and where there is light, darkness cannot exist. So they are hell bent on hiding your identity from you, which will take us to Genesis chapter 14 in Melchizedek, and how his lineage is not traced and cannot be traced according to your book, but your patriarch is paying homage to Melchizedek. Your patriarch bowed down to Melchizedek because Melchizedek represents you, baby, because don't nobody know where you came from either. But the royalty is yours, and it's obvious. You come out with the bread, which means the teaching, and the wine, which means spirit, for you to consume and receive instruction. I'm going to reveal it all to you. The book made it plain, but your preacher didn't show you. Because your teacher taught you about characters. He didn't tell you how Melchizedek and Abraham relate to you and parts of yourself. And one part of yourself got to submit to the higher part of the self. The lower part has to submit to the higher part of the self. We always talking about you. Why would we take all this time and spend all this energy to come tell you about somebody else? So that you could know who somebody else is. Man, we did all this for you can know who you are. And he prevailed not. Michael means he who is like God. Or who is like God? Well, who is like God? Those that were made in the image and likeness of God. That's who's like God. Michael and his angels fought. Everybody don't fight. Only he who is like God. And who is he who is like God? Those made in the image and likeness of God. And his messengers, his witnesses. That's who stand up and fight against the dragon, not the world. The dragon ain't at war with the world. The dragon don't have a problem with the world. The book say the dragon got a problem with the woman, the wisdom, which is nature, and her offsprings. Why your book say wisdom is known of her children. That's why you got people running around here trying to genetically modify everything that's natural. They at war with her. So your religion, which is a reflection of your government, exclude her from it because of the God that your religion really represent, the Lord. Oh man, let's keep it hip. You understand who you've been worshiping. This is the time of revelation. It's why we told you to come out of her so that when the revelation came, it wouldn't hurt. But if you wouldn't come out of her, and now the revelation is coming, it make you feel uncomfortable, got you squirming. It's okay. You already been in the land of the dead. We are, that's how there is a lesser light that governs the dead. Don't get mad at me because you don't know what death is. But we don't got no fear about nothing. So I'm just saying, don't get mad at me because you don't know what death is. Because the Most High sent a lesser light to govern the night. And in the night is darkness, and the darkness is death. There is a lesser light that governs that part. And it was called very good. Don't get mad at me because you let these people tell you dark mean bad. Then called you dark skinned. You mad at me for that? I don't got nothing to do with that. That's on your pastor and your preacher that taught you a bunch of lies. So then you come out of your Bible study knowing less about the Bible than you would have had you never picked the book up in the first place. Because your pastors, preachers, standing up here and then pass a collection plate around. Oh, man. So let's read about Melchizedek. Because you not knowing, see, your enemy thought that it was a thing of pride, that he could trace his lineage And yeah, I can trace my ancestors back. Where your ancestors come from, where you come from, you don't know. Ha 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 ha. And they mocked you because you don't know your lineage and your history. But you not knowing your history or your lineage is a sign of who you are and where you come from, and that your history originate before what they know of as time. That's why you let's make sure, let me help you understand. We're gonna read, let's go to Genesis chapter 14. We're gonna start at verse 18. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna go back this all pertaining to what I'm talking about. I said I'm gonna take my time today. We got a ground to cover. I still ain't got the Joseph in Genesis 47 to open your eyes to some stuff there. But let me show you what Melchizedek and Abraham is demonstrating, symbolizing for you. Now that you can read beyond King James alphabet and know how to read the signs that were given to you by your father and your mother. They gave you signs. King James gave you spells. All you know how to read is the spells. You don't know how to decipher the signs. This is the sign. Let's go. Chapter 18, Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. And Melchizedek, Melik, King Zedek of righteousness. Melech mean king. Zedek is righteousness. King of righteousness. All right? That's who we dealing with. Why are we dealing with the king of righteousness? Because I told you from the beginning of this live, everything that's done is done from the kingdom. And that's who we represent when we come through. Every time we show up, we don't talk about nothing but the kingdom. We don't represent nothing but the kingdom. We look like the king and the queen. Others gonna show up and they gonna tell you about a special character, a special religion. We don't do none of that here. We can tell you about the kingdom that we represent. We're gonna remind you of who you are. That's it. Rock with me, y'all. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, king of righteousness, is also the king of peace. And you have to be at peace before you can deal with the Most High. It's not a geographical location. It's a state of being. You know, church and state. State represent the mind, the state of being, and the church is the body. They want to separate church and state, but they're not meant to be. That's why he say, my new one that I'm going to send to do the job, he's not only going to be the future king, he's going to be the high priest as well. Oh, man, they ain't taught you nothing about this book. It's sad. It's sad. My people been having this book for this long, and he preaches, instead of letting you know that they only showing you what they understand, they told you they was teaching you this book. They should have told you, hey, man, we just going to share with you our understanding of it. Let's take our time. Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was priest of the Most High God. It means he's a lawyer. He's a Levite. The word Levite means to bind or a binder. I'm not saying he's a Levite or from a tribe of Levi. I'm saying he's a Levite as far as his function. The Levites are the lawgivers, the law interpreters, or the priests. Your judges in the United States, to help you understand and get you out of spook land. You see your judges and your lawyers? All right, they would be Levites. Now, your lawyers and your judges administer the law to you, regardless of what religion you practice or your ideology. But all of the lawyers and the interpreters of the law represent the nation of the United States. And their job is to interpret the law for all the people that are part of this nation, regardless of your religious beliefs. Because we have a function in the kingdom. We ain't dealing with religion. The common people have their religion, and then the lawgivers and the judges have their job and function and role within the government of the kingdom. That's why it's a kingdom. It means operate according to a system. The lights are sent to do the job of the. You remember the one that had the job, he threw it down? Well, guess what the lights are? And the greater light, what we here to do? Collect the praise. That means that you are anointed to be able to receive it and give it post to go. But you got to come like a child, happy to do the will of the one that sent the child to do the job. Can't come like you grown, because you're going to want to get paid then. You're going to think somebody owe you, and you're going to make it a transactional type of situation. And most people, when they deal with the Most High, the concept of worship and religion is a transactional situation. I do something good, I get to get blessed. That's a transaction. You didn't get blessed, you got paid. You've already received your reward. Oh, we gonna take our time, man. I hope y'all catching everything I'm saying, because it's just free smoke. Free smoke is everywhere. If you take offense, I don't know you. It's not meant to offend you personally. I have no clue who you are personally. I'm just speaking on what you may have been given at 12:12. And he blessed them and blessed, hold on. The bread, he brought forth bread and wine. So I showed you what the priest was. The bread and wine is instruction in the spirit, the teaching in the spirit that you got to consume. Now listen, and I need you to pay close attention to what's being put in front of you about Melchizedek. Attention to what's being put in front of you about Melchizedek and him having no lineage. Because your lineage existed before time, and it come from the kingdom, and the kingdom exists outside of what your enemy called time. Melchizedek represent the kingdom. This is you woken up. And this is your imposters. When they deal with you when you don't woke up, your imposters, this is what they're gonna do. They represent Abraham. They represent Abraham. We not in the business of doing, listen, you already said you come from Abraham. You said that. I didn't. You made Abraham your forefather and said you came from there. We've been telling you we come from the Most High. Don't get mad at me, because we finna show you what this book finna show you. Hey, man. And he blessed him. Genesis chapter 14, verse 19. And he blessed him and said, who's blessing him? The king of righteousness, the king of Salem, Melchizedek. He's doing the blessing. You blessing Abraham. That's who you say your religion and your peoples and all that. Yeah. Who Melchizedek represent? Let's take our time, make sure you understand what we got going on right here. Blessed be Abram. Because, Abram was his name, Abram. Ab, father, Ram. Ab, father, Ram, Aries. We'll take our time. Y'all don't want none of that. Blessed be Abram of the Most High God. And he blessed him, and he said, blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. Y'all see what's being said right here? Well, let's keep going. And blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered thine enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes. Abram gave Melchizedek tithes of all. You understand who's giving the tithes to who? All right, let's keep going. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, give me the persons and take the goods to yourself. Who is talking to Abram? The king of Sodom is talking to Abram. Melchizedek brought the bread and the wine. He's the priest. He blessed him. And Abram gave Melchizedek a tenth of the goods. And then Abram and Sodom go to talking. Check him out. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth. Y'all see that? Who is Melchizedek the priest of? Who does Melchizedek represent? And who do Abram represent? I've been telling you for a long time, the book shows you over and over repeatedly from beginning to end that there is a difference between God and the Lord. If you've been taught that they are one and the same, you've been taught by someone that was ignorant of this book. They are one and the same, but what we are saying is the awareness. One represents a state of unconsciousness, one represents a state of consciousness. You have a conscious and an unconscious mind inside of your temple. Both sides of you. There are things that you did in your unconscious state that you would not do in your conscious state, because now you're conscious and aware of who you are and what's going on. So you won't indulge in those things no more. But that other you was you too. It was just you in a different state of awareness. All we talking about is you, baby. That's it. The problem is you don't know you when you see you. So you think we talking about characters. Because you haven't reached the point of awareness where you can see yourself in any and everything you look at. So we have to give you characters until you reach the level of awareness where you know it's you that's being talked about. Until then, line by line, precept on precept, we must go. So Melchizedek represents the higher self, the self that's in awareness, and Abram represents the self that don't know what's going on yet, but still that lower self must bow down to the higher self. Or you want to take it all away and make it Melchizedek represent you not knowing where you come from. Because of what you represent, it's a reason why you can't trace your lineage, but they can trace theirs. Because your lineage, it come from outside of time. Their lineage start in time. We're not the same. You're not supposed to be able to trace your lineage where you come from. Do you know what you are? Well, where God come from? Let's hear it. Tell me, where God come from? What's his lineage? Let's hear it. Oh, you just not starting to understand what the title mean. It's a title. You if you don't know who you are, you can't fulfill your role. And you got a job to do. But your job consists of you knowing who you are. If you don't, you're gonna be pulling up in front of people telling them about some special person you believe in because you don't know yourself. Until you pull up in front of somebody that know they self and gonna be like, yeah, even the demons know and can tell you about this, that, and the third. The only thing that we need you to tell me about is you. Because that's what you can be a faithful and true witness of. The testimony is true concerning you, and you got a witness. But what you talking about, these characters you trying to get me to believe in, before we go any further with it, all of your testimony is false. You're not a witness to none of them. Why you in front of my face giving me false testimony about people you never met, never seen, and never experienced? You know them, but you don't know you? Please. And stay away from my kids with your scare tactics and your trauma tactics. We don't go for that no more. We're not letting you put into the mind of a child, that if they don't agree with you and they don't believe in what you believe in, that they're going to be punished for all eternity. We no longer letting you do that to our children. Because we've come into the enlightenment. You didn't know what you was talking about in the first place. You was working with the government to keep our church and state separated, our mind and our body separate, so you can give me what you believe and I can make your beliefs my beliefs, and neither one of us know anything. We just running around believing. in last place. So this what we on. This what we up on. What you don't know won't hurt you. I'm just pausing to read some comments. I've reached. Oh, now I got to go to y'all to Genesis 47. This is stuff that was coming to me. I've spoken on it before, but last night as I was laying and meditating, it came to me. You need to show them who Joseph, what Joseph did. They need to know. They don't understand because they go to talking about slavery, these imposters. They go to talking about some slavery and they come from slavery and they was enslaved by the Egyptians. So we're going to break that down for you and help you understand what Joseph got going on. Let's read Genesis chapter 47 is very deep. It's a lot going on in Genesis chapter 47, just like it's a lot going on in the creation narrative. The first 33 verses of the book, it's a lot going on the fourth day of creation. Genesis chapter 47 is describing much more than you've been taught. So we dealing with Joseph. Joseph was the father of Jesus, or who, they said was the father of Jesus. We finna deal with Joseph. Help you understand a little bit more about Joseph. Genesis chapter 47. I'm just taking my time, help y'all understand the book in its context in order. Because I know many of you have received the information in this book by way of what's called the gospel. If you receive the book and the information in it by way of the gospel, you've been taught this book out of order. This book don't start at the gospel. The book started in Genesis. The story is revealed in Revelation. Now, the story is about you, so the reason that they start in what's called the gospel is because they start with your conception. So to tell your story, we must start at your conception. It's just where we got to start. But we was telling you about you, and you didn't know we was talking about you. You thought we was talking about somebody else and their immaculate conception. But we told you we was telling your story, and if we telling your story, we got to start where your story start. Your story started your conception. So that's where they started, but they didn't explain it to you. We just taking the time here, you understand how all the way around we've been talking about you this whole time. Till you can accept it, till you understand. That's why they spend so much time drilling into you, melanated people, so-called black people. That's why they spend so much time drilling into you that you were nothing and that your history began as a slave. That's why. It's why they went out of their way to hide who you were from you. Because they can only rule if you are ignorant of who you are. That's the only way they can be in power and maintain it. That's it. Let's just take our time. Then Joseph means doubly fruitful because we're dealing with duality, dual kind of fruit. But trees, they only produce one kind of fruit, the fruit that they were made to bear. But we're dealing with doubly fruitful, dual fruit because, Joseph ascended and he had a way of being, and then he descended. And he had we just going to take our time. Canaan. Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. Canaan means the land of purple or the land of synchronicity. Oh man, we done went all the way down through there with these names. But every name, whether it's geographical location or the name of a character, has a meaning. The meaning of each name is describing a different state of being, different states of being, different states of awareness. That's what each name in the book describes. We're just going to decode it, despookify it for you so you can get a clear understanding of what's in this book and why your preachers and pastors wouldn't teach you this stuff. Because if you did, then you wouldn't have to keep coming back to their congregation and playing patty cake with them. All right. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. Goshen mean the gathering place, the place of coming together. Again, every name have a meaning. Once you get the meaning of the name, it'll give you a higher level of consciousness or awareness of what the story is describing. On the lowest level of awareness is you describing other characters that live a long time ago. That's just the lowest level of awareness. Nothing wrong with that. In the pyramid scheme, you just in the tomb. It's where you dwell, it's where you exist in the land of the dead. When you wake up, you start your ascension process. Eventually, you'll make it to the part of the pyramid that's called the temple. And you will dwell within the temple or the king's dome. Just trying to make you aware of that you've been placed inside of a tomb. And that's where you've been kept. And this level of awareness is considered death. If you think we're talking about characters that existed a long time ago outside of yourself, you're dead. This is why you think that. Don't get mad at me because you don't know what death is. Let's keep going. Welcome to the land of the dead. And here we have to coexist. Those that's living, we have to coexist with the dead. And so if we don't set no order, law, then it'll be chaos. We're just going to take our time. Then Pharaoh, hold on. And he took some of his brethren, even 5. Why he take 5 of his brothers? The same reason David took 5 stones. It's the exact same reason. Telling the same story over and over again. Why the first 5 books, it's called what? The law. Where you get your law from? What govern your body? Well, what govern the law of your body? Your 5 senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and hearing. That's your law that govern your body. You look at something that's disgusting to you, you're going to turn away. You're going to repent from looking at that. It's against your law of your sight. Too loud hurt your ear, you're going to cover your ear. It's against the law of this is where the law is extension of. The law is to govern the body. This is our law that we came from the land. This is what Joseph is showing Pharaoh. They haven't taught you this book. And I can tell, I'm looking at these comment sections and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It really is when I'm really just seeing the level of people are saying wow. People in the comment section talk about wow. Like this is amazing. This is basic stuff. I ain't even scratched the tip. I ain't even approached scratching the tip of the iceberg. And when I'm saying it's not frustrating at you saying, wow, it's like the level these people calling themselves leaders and preachers and teachers, and people don't know the basic stuff. Like what you been learning? What have they been teaching? They've been teaching you, keeping you dead. They've been keeping you sleep, ensuring you while you sleep, passing the collection plate around. They just shearing you, keeping you sleep. Because they work for the God of this world, and the God of this world can only rule over you in your sleep state. Is why the Lord, what does he start with? Adam. What is Adam? A body with no life in it until the Lord do what? Breathe into it. And then, so a body without no life in it is what? Dead. He can only rule over the dead. The Lord is the God of the dead. Of saying you're dead. You are at a level of consciousness that you are complete. You are in a deep sleep, unaware of who you are or where you are. And that's who's been placed over you while you in your sleep state. The lesser light that governs the night. What you do at night? Sleep. All right, man, we just gonna take our time because you got shepherds. The lights and the lawgivers are meant to shepherd the flock of the people that sleep. These are the ones that take care of you and keep you safe while you sleep. We not admonishing you, shaking you up, accusing you, shaking an angry fist at you. Wake up. No, because we know what it is. We understand that it's going to be where we are. We have those that's alive and those that sleep, and we know that our job is to shepherd the sleep. Give you somewhere to go, to guide you, to lead you. You're going to follow the voice. Not the voice of Corey, but the sound of the truth. That's what attracted you. Something sounded, seemed, felt true. Not right, true. You felt the truth of it because, my sheep recognize my voice. Anytime I hear the truth, I'm tuned in. Because I know what the truth sound and feel like. When I hear the truth, and I know when you're freestyling and in front of me playing, I know what it feel like too. Let's keep going. We're going to make sure we understand what Joseph, doubly fruitful, because we doing a duality, is presenting to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. We shepherds. Let's keep going. Make sure you understand what we're looking at, what Joseph did in Egypt. Because you're going to hear some things that are being put forth that's just not true. Well, it's true, but they're giving you a half truth. They're not giving you the whole picture. So we're going to give you the whole picture today. They said, moreover unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come. For your servants have no pasture for their flocks. What is pasture? Food. What is food? Teaching, instruction. We can't teach them nothing. Why? Because where they are in Egypt, Egypt got more knowledge, wisdom, and information than they do. And when they came to Egypt and looked around Egypt, man, we can't teach what y'all teaching. We don't got nothing. It's a famine in the land. Everybody got to go where to get something to eat? Egypt. Everybody got to get their teaching and they learning and they instruction. Where do all your patriarchs go in your religion, people? They had to go through Egypt, didn't they? Yo, Jesus, where he had to go? He had to come to. You don't understand what's being put in front of you? You think we talking about geographical locations? That's what you think we mean? It's a teaching. You have to understand we're dealing with 7 world empires. The beast with 7 heads, 10 horns. Let's bust them down for the people that's in the back that ain't been taught nothing but a religion, and that's all you got. Let's give you some info. Go back and see if I'm making it up. All right? You got the Canaanite game, and then Tower of Babel, Babylonian game. Then the Egyptian, you got the Egyptian doctrine, the Egyptian empire, world empire. What happened after the Egyptians came? Man, that's when you got to deal with the Persian and they Sumerian and they game and they empire, and they doctrine. Then you came to the Greeks and they added they little 2 cents on, and now you got the Greek doctrine, Zeus. Then after you got through with your Greek doctrine, guess who else you got? The Romans. They came with their game. These are world empires, world influencers. Then after you got the Romans, now we dealing with the 7-1. We are in the time of the 7-1. That's the United Kingdom, King James. You dealing with the King James Bible, helping you break the spell that you've been enslaved under since the empire of Canaan, where Joseph and his brethren came from, and they didn't have nothing to feed their flock. How you a shepherd? Well, let's keep going. Make sure we understand what got set up in the land of Egypt, church and state. See what happened. Because the 5 brothers that's representing the body, Egypt is the state. The name Egypt, Mizraim, mean a fortified place or a prison. That's what it means. Because you're in the tomb till you get to the temple, to the king's dome. Let's make sure we understand what's being described to you. If not, you're going to be playing patty cake with the book and a bunch of pastors trying to take your money and look between your legs while he in the pulpit. Just going to get it to you real. They said moreover for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Ain't nothing to eat in Canaan. And now therefore we pray you, let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen, the land of coming together, the land of gathering. Because they eat off the people. Shepherds eat from their flock. They not carpenters, construction workers, plumbers. They feed off the people that follow them. That's how they eat. Pay attention while we make sure we temper ourselves when we get on this platform. For the famine is sore now, therefore we pray you let your servant dwell. And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph, saying, your father and your brethren are coming to you. The land of Egypt is before you. In the best of the land, make your father and your brethren to dwell in. To dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell. And if you know any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. Pay close attention to what I'm about to just read to you. This is not a story. It's not fairy tale land. We're talking about cyclical events, things that have happened, is happening now, will happen again. It's what we read. I must break it down when we get through. We're going to bring it into terms of today so you can see it outside of the book. And Joseph brought in Jacob, his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. I want you to pay close attention to what Jacob said about himself. So when I say we're not in the business of accusing, we're in the business of truth. You going to admit on your own who and what you are, what you're following, what you represent. And we gonna come and reveal the truth of it. Here we go. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old are you? Pay close attention to what he say. And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the heel catcher said unto Pharaoh, the supplanter said unto Pharaoh, just telling you what the name mean in English, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. 13. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been. Few and evil. See, he knew his time was short. Satan is cast down to you. He knows his time is short. The heel catcher, the supplanter, the imposter. The one that dressed up like his brother in his brother's clothes so he could smell like his brother and so he can steal his brother. Yeah, he know who he is. Don't get mad at me because you didn't. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, Mizraim, fortified place, prison, in the best of the land. Pay attention, y'all. Because, Joseph is said to be the father of Jesus. Everything you just said glitched out. Really? Let me stop and pause. Have I been glitching real bad? Everything you just said, if I'm glitching real bad, y'all let me know, because I ain't even looked on there to see if I was glitching. But let me get there. I'm almost where I can stop and look at y'all questions and answer y'all comments. And the religious people, we gonna take our time. We gonna answer your questions too. We're not gonna make you feel bad for your belief. We not. We're gonna be patient with you and do our best with you. It's what we're gonna do, because we love you. We truly do. And Joseph, hold on. Joseph is, said to be the father of Jesus, the adopted father of Jesus. So you need to know about Joseph, don't you? You don't think you need to know about Joseph? If y'all understand who Joseph is and what Joseph did, y'all don't want to know that? I thought y'all might want to know that. My bad. It always glitches when he cook. I know. For real, where they be back on with the finger on the button. In my mind, it be somebody with their finger on the button waiting for something to get good, then they go to hitting the button. Oh, like this gonna stop. I'm laughing because it can't be stopped. What's happening can't be stopped, can't be hidden. There's nothing that can be done. You can glitch it out. If you glitch this out, you're gonna scroll up and somebody else gonna be talking about the same thing. You're gonna go outside, you're gonna cut on the radio, you're gonna cut on the TV. It cannot be stopped at this point. There's nothing that can be done. That's why I'm laughing. They must don't think we know this. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop this. It's too late. So here you go. But that don't mean they not gonna try, y'all. We just can't let it frustrate us too much. But they're gonna try. That's their job. Let me stop. Let me read this stuff. Y'all leave me alone, man. All right. Joseph, hold on. Joseph, in the land of Egypt, the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. So Joseph, Jacob, and the children of Israel are now in Egypt, in the best of the land. They are foreigners of the land. They are foreigners in Egypt. They not from this place. They not indigenous to this land, but they have achieved a ranking in the government that their children, their relatives have been given the best of the land. It's a famine going on, y'all. I hope you understand this. But these foreigners have been given a high position in the government of Egypt, in the best of the land. These sojourners, these foreigners. It would be like, what we got going on today? People that have dual citizenship, not from here, but they hold high positions in your government, and they taking the resources and your tax money and sending it to the place where they have their citizens. Let me, before they go, that might be why they be glitched. They know where I'm going. They know I'm finna expose them. And they don't like being exposed. The enemy hate being exposed. He hate the truth. The truth is a light that reveals who and what he is. So that's why they can't stand the truth. That's why they get so offensive and they want to come back and get They can't stand the truth. They want to look right. They want to be right. And they can look right and be right as long as the truth ain't around. But when the truth come around, man, hey. So that's what you're dealing with. Yeah, y'all tap that screen. Let them people know we in here. Not for me and my ego, but for the TikTok monitors to know that people are actively participating in this live, and whatever it is they do with that. I'm trying to show y'all something. I keep pausing. Y'all know how I get. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. Not Joseph and his people, though. They in the best of the land. I'm finna read to you something, and then we gonna listen to this story that these people gave you about them being enslaved. And we're gonna show you how, according to the Bible, they're lying. They are liars. And that's all they ever do is lie. That's just their language is lies. Anytime you talk to them, guess what they're gonna do? They gonna lie. This is what they do. So we tell you, come out of there, stay away from them, don't engage with them. Because if you do, all they gonna do is lie to you. Don't enter into no contracts with them, because if you do, it's gonna be a lot of fine print, hidden terms and conditions that you're gonna be bound to when you contract or covenant with them and their Lord or their master. but you fell into a covenant with them and their master. We're going to show you what's going on. You got your old covenant. Now you say you're under the new covenant. But you got the same master, though, don't you? You call him Lord. Just trying to show you, when you come from a kingdom, you have parents. You got a mama and a daddy. Slaves have masters. Children have parents. Lord means master. Joseph, verse 14, Genesis chapter 47, verse 14. Line by line, precept upon precept, because my people don't understand nothing else. And Joseph gathered all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they brought, and Joseph brought the money unto Pharaoh's house. Joseph brought the money to Pharaoh's house, all the money, not some of it, not most of it, all the money. Joseph and his relatives got all the money. They controlling all the money, because that's the political position that they've achieved in this foreign land. They dealing with the money. Yeah. And they got the best portions of the land, even though this ain't their land. They not indigenous to it. It's a famine going on. But Joseph and his relatives, his family, boy, they balling. They living it up and got all the money. Let's keep going. I just want to show you who Joseph is. My bad. Nobody might have never showed you this. And when money fell in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, not if the money fell, when the money fell, just so you know what's coming. When the money fell in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money fails. Money ain't no more good. It's not worth nothing no more. So what do Joseph say? Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give for your cattle if money fail. Give me your livestock. You don't got no more money. That's cool. You got livestock, cows and chickens and goats, sheep. Bring me that. Now the reason that Pharaoh in his house had a surplus in the first place is because Joseph told Pharaoh, and he had a vision of the famine that was coming, and told Pharaoh to collect taxes. Go around the people and collect a fifth of everything they produce for the next 7 years. So when a famine hit, we'll have something to give to the people. But they not giving it to the people, they selling it to them. They collected it for the benefit of the people because they knew the famine was coming. But instead of them distributing it to the people because it belonged to the people, that's where it came from, he sold it back to them for their money until their money wasn't no more good. He drove down the currency. They don't got no more money. You don't got nothing, because I got a plan to take everything you got. But we going to get you to call it good. But we going to take everything you got and we going to make you call it the best thing since sliced bread. Gotcha. So let me show you your blueprint of how you've been placed up under this spell and into this tomb in a sleep state, put into a deep sleep by the Lord. All right, let's keep going. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph. And Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds and for the asses. He fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. I need you to understand who Joseph is, so you can better understand what's happening about it. You know the tree by its fruit. The fruit is the fruit of your loins. Just trying to show you something, so you can understand. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, the second day, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord. This time we got Lord in all lowercase letters. That means like landlord or owner, husband, by all. Lord, capital L, is master. Lord, in all caps, is I am. We just gonna take our time today, man. Appreciate the people that's been rocking with me, hitting that screen that say, hey, I want to learn the Bible, I want to know the Bible, but I'm sick of the religion they attached to it. You in the right place. You in the right place. We're gonna show you the Bible. We're not gonna give you no religion at all. All we're gonna show you is the Bible, and you can attach whatever religion that you feel and you see fit. But we ain't into religion. We in the family, we in the kingdom, in the revelation of the truth. That's it. We don't got nothing to do with nobody's religion. Let's keep going. When that year was ended, they said, hold on, from our Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also has our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our hands. Pay a close attention to what I'm reading you, y'all, because I need you to know some stuff. Not believe it, know it. Wherefore shall we die before your eyes, both we and our land, by us and our land for bread. And we in our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. Y'all understand what's happening right here? By us in our land. You don't own nothing. You don't even own the land your house is on. Only thing that you have of value in 2024 is your elbows and ass and the work that you gonna do, your body. And they hire your body. And they give you such and such an hour for use of your body, because you have nothing else of value to trade with or live off of. We just showing you the blueprint of it. It didn't just start in 2024. This is the blueprint of the God of this world. You've been calling it your God. You've been calling this stuff the best thing ever, except when it happened to you. This is why I'm showing you this. Let's read it. Wherefore so, and Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. That's how the government got all the land. Let's keep going. Help you understand what the predicament we in right now. And as for the people, hold on. And as for the people, help you understand where you at right now. He removed them to cities. No more rural living and taking care of yourself and your tribe and your family and your inheritance. You don't have an inheritance no more. The land belongs to the government. You can't pass on nothing to your children no more. You can pass on debt to them. Whoever you owe, that's going to go to your children. Now they owe them. You no longer have an inheritance to leave to them. Joseph. Hey, man, y'all ain't been taught nothing, huh? Boy, y'all been in them church houses playing patty cake, rocking and singing. Huh, man? Boy, ain't learned nothing. And they call themselves leaders, man. These preachers and these pastors, I'm sick of them. I'll go out my way to not put on no suit and tie and look special when I stand in front of y'all with the truth. Because the liars get dressed up and put on the show for you. Man, I come in here, man, hey, and just making sure if you looking for it to look a certain way, keep scrolling. You'll miss this one. Good. Because you can't see no way. But if you can see, man, this for you. So check it out. Let me get back to the business. Line by line. Precept upon precept. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh. Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. As for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end. Therefore, that's how you got in your cities. That's why you gave up the farmland that your great grandfather and them had, and you ran to the city and where you could be a good slave, but you could have fun being a slave. You just gonna be a slave, meaning that you never gonna own anything in that city, nothing. But you will work for it till you can't work for it no more. This the blueprint for that. Came from Joseph, the father. So then Joseph said, "Hold on, I need you to get this though. Only the land of the priests bought he not. For the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands." So when they set up the Moses law and the Moses government, you know, the priests are not given a portion with the children. It's imitating something that's natural. Like, okay, when I woke up, I became a vegetarian. And this has been the last 13 years. And I notice usually the places that I go, the people that I'm around, I'm the only vegetarian there because I'm set apart. Because I don't eat what you eat. The lot that's given to me, the portion that's given to me is the portion of the Most High. And the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High, that's my portion. So what I eat, fruit and vegetables, grew from the light of the Most High. You know, the third day of creation. I'm just showing you who and what I am by the way I eat, by the law I follow to govern my body. That's where they're getting this from. But this is why the priests are not given a portion with the children, that you are set apart, because it's like you are a lawyer. You're not a commoner. You're a lawyer. You deal with the law. People have to come stand before you so you can give the judgment. It's all symbolic, but going on a political level, the priests, you dealing with Pharaoh, Joseph and his people, and the priests of the Pharaoh, that's who living good. They got all the money, they got all the cattle, they live in the best part of the land. They are not experiencing no parts of no famine. The Egyptians are. And not only have the Egyptians, since they done lost their land, they done lost their cattle, guess what? They got removed to cities. Because now the government is going to take care of you. And what the government set up is going to feed you. You no longer going to be feeding yourself and seeing to your own affairs, because you don't have nothing to depend on. You got to come to the city where I can place y'all one on top of another, keep y'all close together, where I can more easily govern and control you. This came from, oh man, y'all ain't been taught nothing, and this ain't even the half of it. Let me make sure y'all understand completely and totally, so that when I bring this last part around, y'all be like, oh man, I get it. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh. So what I also need you to understand is that the priests are your preachers, and Pharaoh is the government. I'm trying to get to you that your preachers are working with the government. That's why they get the tax-free, tax-exempt. This is likened to them, their land not being taxed, they not having to give up their land because they work with the government. They work with Pharaoh. They work with the state. They serve a purpose for the state. Somebody said I'm lying. Oh, no, I don't think she's talking about me, though. Angie, what's happening? So this is what's happening on these people, that they have been removed to the cities. So everybody that's in the city, you used to have land that your ancestors And somewhere along the line, either they lost the land was taken, or it was sold out because you didn't value your inheritance. They didn't value their inheritance. They didn't value their birthright. Just showing you how it got to that point. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. If a person get bought, what is that person? If a person get bought, if you buying and selling people, what is the person that got bought? I want to see if somebody answered in the comment section. What's a person that's owned? A slave. You're a slave. Who placed Egypt in servitude? Joseph. Joseph policies. Joseph ideas. Joseph plays. Joseph put these people into servitude. He reduced, well, let's read it. Because I know my people slow. It's hard for them. Because Joseph, he's one of the patriarchs. He's one of the great people. He's in you reading, I'm just reading you into the book what Joseph did to the people of Egypt. The person that you celebrate and call great. Because if it's happened to you right now and you experience this, you're going to be hollering about the injustice and unfairness of it all. They tax me all these years, and then when I need my tax dollars, I gotta buy them back. Man, you done robbed me twice. But when you read it and they put it in the book, and they got you to sing and dance before you opened the book, and they had you rocking, and I probably was crying a little bit, and then they opened the book, you was ready to accept whatever they told you in the book was good. It was great. Hey, you mean? You was already prepared to call it that. You was operating on it by faith. Without any evidence, you just believe that this was the best thing ever. What Joseph got going on. Don't you, ain't that what you do in your church? Ain't that how you get it? You sing a little bit first, and you say a couple of prayers, you do a couple of rituals, then they open up the book and read a little bit to you, and you nod your head, everything. Yeah, that's what you do. Hey, you mean? What you mad at me for? Because I didn't sing and dance first? Because I don't pass a collection plate out when I get through? Man, hey, don't be mad at me. Yeah, let's keep going, man. This is so fun. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. There you go. Good job, son. Keep going. Then Joseph said to the people, behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. Who land? Pharaoh's land, because it ain't your land no more. You work for Pharaoh now. Remember? And this shall come to pass in the increase that you shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be for your own. For seed of the field and for your food, and for them of your household, and for food for your little ones. So we just dealing with a transfer of wealth, a transfer of ownership. You get to stay. What you get now, everything you produce when you go to work, we taxing it too. Because remember, you owe us. So this how we gonna deal with what you owe. We just gonna tax you. Because you owe us because we the one giving you seed. The seed is your tax dollars that we collect. We the one giving you seed. You owe us now because you don't got nothing else to pay us with. And whatever work assignment that we come up with, you gonna go do that in exchange for this food. And you getting to work our land for us that we own now. Keep showing you what he did. And they said, you have saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord. This is Joseph. And we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt until this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part taxes, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. When you get to Moses' law, the priests are not going to be given a portion with the rest of the children. But this is mimicry. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goship, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. I bet they did. They had all the money, all the cattle, and the best portions of the land. They had high-ranking positions in government, even though they wasn't from there. They was able to call shots, especially economically and over the labor force. Boy, they own. But it's going to become a problem here. Check it out. And Jacob lived in the land 17 years, so the whole of Jacob was 147 years. At Genesis chapter 47. Now, Joseph has reduced the entire land of Egypt to servitude. Joseph and his people, though, are not subjected to this servitude because of their position and relationship to Pharaoh. But some later generation that's going to come, and these generations is going to look at Joseph and them people, and they going to ask the question, how did these people that's not from here, that's not indigenous to here, get the best of our land, is making laws for us, and in control of our government? These people that are from the land of Canaan, you know, they got like dual citizenship with the land where they from. How they come over here and run stuff, and we at the bottom in our own land. We paying all the taxes. They not paying no taxes. We got to give up a fifth. Everything they don't got to give up. These people not even from. How they over here calling shots? So the people end up putting one of their own in position of power. And one of their own became the Pharaoh, one of the own that represented them. And when they looked at these foreigners, they say, we're going to subject you to the same servitude everybody else is. Yeah. No more favoritism. You gonna do and perform the same hard labor and pay them same taxes like everybody else. Then when it started happening to them, that's when it became a problem. And it became, they was enslaved. But it was your ancestor, Joseph, that set the play up in the first place. See, we got to accept responsibility to some of the things our ancestors set up in the first place. Who we are, who we came from, the rulership, and the evidence of our ancient kingdom before their recorded history. It still exists today, but we went to doing some stuff we didn't have no business doing, and we failed. But I just wanted to show y'all a little bit about who enslaved the children of Israel and how they ended up being enslaved. Well, it was Joseph that enslaved the land of Egypt, and then when a new leader came that was loyal to the Egyptians, and they made these foreigners have to slave just as hard, then it was a problem. You know how you call stuff good in the book until it happened to you, and then you say it's bad. It's not a problem till it happened to you. Long as you're reading it in the book and the genocide is happening to somebody else, it's the best thing ever. When it started happening to you, Lord, the injustice of it's the same thing they did. Just gonna stare at the screen for a second. You don't got to tap it. I tap it. Here you talking about. There you go. I like that. What I just said. Don't nobody else like it. I like it. Housing, food stamp, public transportation. Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. It's always new over it though. Don't get mad at me because you don't know what that means. Ask me. I tell you. I'm not on here trying to show you. See, I know there's some stuff going on these platforms. We got a lot of people, and a lot of us feel like we want people to know who we are. Man, listen. When you get it, and you understand it, and you understand it, what's gonna be better is if you get the people around you to know who they are. You did? So we can have a gathering of the brethren, brothers and sisters, the family, because we all know who we are. That's what's best. So it's time to separate all of the fake, phony, false from those that's telling the truth. Fake, phony, false is in front of you saying, look at me, follow me, I'm the one. One's coming and telling you the truth is telling you, hey, you know who you are, right? We ain't but one you, is it? Well, how many of you is it? Ain't but one you. How many of you will it ever be? It ain't but one you, and it'll never be a nothing but you, and it'll never be another you again ever. At it 111. Man, that must mean you special. I've been trying to let them know for almost a year now. In this, it take patience. If this is your calling, and it's a labor of love. We are not dealing, listen, we not dealing with the sheep. They are asleep. They can't hear you. They can't comprehend you. They can't see the light. They not gonna perceive it as light. If you in a dark place and you sleep and somebody put a bright light in front of you before you ready to wake up, you gonna cover your eyes, cover your head, and turn around away from the light. Because you're not ready to wake up and come into the light yet. So we dealing, what we coming for, what we expose with this light are the false teachers, the preachers and the pastors that's standing up, dressed up every Sunday in front of your aunties and uncle them. It's them that we exposing. The congregation is innocent. They doing what they were supposed to be doing. Sheep are supposed to follow a shepherd. That's what sheep do. But the shepherd that was over them was misleading them, and the judgment start with them. The who's gonna be dealt with are your leaders, not the people. They sleep, and you can't sleep wrong, baby. I'm sorry. You sleep, you sleep. That's it. Ain't nobody. How you gonna? Oh, you didn't sleep right, so I'm gonna punish you. You had a bad dream, so the judgment of your work don't start till you wake up and get to work. And we gonna look at your work. While you sleep, you sleep. Not wrong for being asleep. Your aunties and uncles and your cousins, they sleep. They not wrong for being asleep. You wrong for trying to force them to wake up before it's their time. It's not time for them to wake up. And then once they do wake up, and it's your light that woke them up, the light that was shed through you that woke them up, then you direct them to the light that's in them. A lot of us, we'll wake people up, and because we was the one that woke them up, or they were able to comprehend the light that came from us, because it's always been shed, but they weren't able to comprehend it. But it was just so happened that they were able to get it from you. And so the first thing they become aware of is the light that came from you. You need to let them know that that's not your light. That the light came from the Most High that's in you, the same light that's in them. Don't stand in front of them when they wake up and they like, oh, you must be the Messiah. You must be the one. And you like, yeah, come on, follow me. No, man, that ain't what you do. You direct them to where the Most High is, the same source where you got your light. You direct them to the source. They can stay around you until they are able to make the confession after they have heard the truth and believed it, turn away from being deaf, dumb, and blind, and they make the confession, I am salvation, the anointed one. They know who they are. Then you can go. But until then, yeah, you might need to stay and get you some more shepherding until you know who you are. But once you know who you are, those that sleep, you know it's not for them. They sleep. If they reject it, turn their ears to it, start accusing you, all right, then that's not for them. Why are we gonna go back and forth arguing for us? It took divine feminine energy to reveal this to me. In my masculine energy, I wanted to Bible battle with religious people. Divine feminine energy shed a light on me and said, hey, brother, won't you just teach and share the revelation and your understanding of the book instead of battling these Christians? That way we can all get an understanding. I said, yeah, that make more sense. All the sense in the world. And I've been doing that ever since. And it's been more effective ever since. Just explaining the duality. My nature and my natural inclination is sword out, shield up, let's go to war. Let's fight. Women say, no, we need to create a space of nurturing. You need to make a space where things can be created and grow. I said, okay, my energy is better put to use not going to war, but creating a space of nurturing and grow. Yes, ma'am, I got it. I submit to your wisdom. How else could I? I couldn't help but do it. The way I'm going, man, hey, I'm gonna have a headache, frustrated, and then I'm gonna have to go over the same thing over and over and over with people, because every day I'm gonna get a new person at a different level of awareness, and I'm gonna have to but if we do it like this, man, we can just teach and, hey, man, let me show you something right here, and let's turn and we can get a overall understanding of what the books say. We still ain't talking about no religion, because we know what the religions are there for. That's why you got so many in your neighborhood. The separation of church and state. They just want to keep your mind separated from your body so that you will remain a slave. So they got all these churches in your neighborhood. The pastors living off your ignorance. Keep you in poverty. Yeah, we the sword. Yeah, yo, the people, the flock, so the shepherd, the true shepherds. They are true shepherds because they love the sheep. They love the flock. They love their people. They are the true shepherds. They are not shepherds because they want to find somebody to take advantage of and they want to be validated. They are shepherds because they care about the people, and they're going to go prepare places and do things in preparation for the people to come. Because once I understand how you operate and how you move when you sleep, okay, I might have somewhere for you to sleep at. I know you like to gamble. I know you like to bust pistols. I know you like to smoke. I know you like to do things in your sleep state. I'm going to have somewhere for you to do them in your sleep state. Because we have to exist with the sleep, with the dead. We got to exist among them. We are a light because the dead is in the world. And heavens and earth is alive. Everything in the heavens and in the earth lives. The world is a bunch of brick and mortar in these books. None of this stuff is alive. It's dead. I said, welcome to the land of the dead when we first started. Get mad at me because you don't know what it is. So I'm going to go through these comments right now. Then after I get through going through these comments, I got to go cut some grass and get in my garden because it rained yesterday. And I'm gonna go make me some mulch today. I'm gonna make me some mulch. I'm getting my coffee grounds and my eggshells and my fruit rinds. We're gonna let them sit. I'm gonna get me some dry leaves and run the mower over them. We finna make us some mulch because we planted some trees. We planted watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberries, and it's gotten a little cool. So I want to put some mulch around it, keep it warm. Cause you know we garden. We grow stuff. We measure ourselves in growth. That's what I'm talking about, living. Yeah, we ain't just talking about it. We being about it. We got a group of us that's meeting and coming together with some poetic justice is what the church say, poetic justice. Everything is a sign. And we looking at getting us some land and developing that land. We got where we live at in our own separate places, but we're gonna come together and get us some land somewhere else. We can kick it, do our thizzle, develop how we want to, and we just gonna grow from there. If you want to be a part of that, hey man, get at Medusa And I'm not gonna speak on too much on it here, but just know we not about complaining. In the land that we coming together to do and develop, it's not on nothing religious. We not building no church. We tired of paying rent, right? We tired of paying rent, so we want to own the land that our house is on, so we don't gotta pay nobody to exist. And we want to grow our own food because, you know, they genetically modify the fruit and vegetables. So we want to grow our own food so we don't have to consume genetically modified food. And we going to have our house on land that we own, so we don't got to pay nobody no rent for that. And we'll just keep going from there. Because why sit and complain when we can do something about it? And the more people that come in, the better it will be, because we build communities. But you have to, I'm just the voice of one crying in the wilderness, because you're going to have to come out the city. You got to come out the city. The city is governed by lords. So you are trying to master something. You are here to master. Once you master it, you are the lord of it. Word Lord mean master. You're here to master some stuff. You got to overcome some stuff. Subdue the earth. Master it so you can be Lord. Don't you have a ranking position in the kingdom? Ain't we dealing with a kingdom? Let me know. He say, man, you are gods, but you're going to die like men. What it mean is you are gods, but you're going to die like one of the sons of Adam. Adam mean man. And then you look at how Adam was made, you'll understand even better what this about. Bioengineering, you right. I'm just trying to tell the truth, bro. I don't even want to be right. I've seen what they call right. I have no interest in being what they consider to be right. When they call me wrong, I celebrate. Yes. Because I don't want to be associated with what they call right. Associate me with the truth, though. I don't care what they call right. What's your thoughts on Putin showed us blacks are real Jews in the Bible? I knew that was coming. Knew the question was coming. And I knew they was going to pull this start when we started revealing who the worship of Jesus represented. When we started revealing who the so-called Jews are, that these are the synagogue and the seed of Satan, and we start teaching people that Jesus is really Satan, and the worship of Jesus is Satan worship, and we start showing them Revelation chapter 13 and show them how it's pointing to Jesus, we knew once we started revealing the truth that they wasn't one that gonna claim to be those people anymore. As long as you was blind, they wanted to make sure you thought those people was them and only them. But when we started revealing, man, this book ain't showing you the work of the Most High. You don't need a book to show you that. This book is showing you the work of the enemy and those that followed him. And the more traction it took, and the more people start looking and showing and seeing and proving, then they start disassociating themselves. Yeah, this ain't us. This them. This had to happen. It had to happen. What we did was hide our information in these books, in these writings, for our descendants, for us. Information was hidden for us. So that when the imposters came, they would be revealed and exposed by having taken this book and applied a literal take on it and claiming it to be theirs. Then the truth is revealed about who the children of the Most High is in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and who the descendants of Adam are. Now they don't want nothing to do with it. That's just your enemy showing you how he get down. Once you start waking up to the truth, man, he trying to wash his hands of that. That's y'all. That wasn't me. That's been y'all from the beginning. Yeah, it was us from the beginning. It was. We have to accept and be held accountable, because it's the reason why we lost the position we was in, how we fell from grace, and how they ended up in a position that they in until they make the same mistake. And they doing it. They done it. They made the same mistake. And so the truth is here to set everything back in order. Our pride caused us to fall. When we start thinking that things, the sunrise and the constellations and all the blessings that we received came because we knew so much and because we were so wise? We fell from grace because it stopped being about how good God was, it stopped being about how good the Father was. It started being about how good we are individually. This constituted a fall from grace, a fall from power. We lost our power. We used to have a nation. We were identified by our nation. And every nation have laws to govern it. Not a religion. Laws. It was a certain, like how I eat. I'm a vegetarian. And when I'm around people, it's a sign for those that this guy is set apart. His food is set apart. He don't eat what we eat. I only eat what come from the Most High, because that's my portion. I know who I am. I know my role. But for those that's blind, they still sleep, I get mocked. They laugh. They think it's because they just mean you sleep. You don't know how to read signs. All you know how to read is the letters and alphabet you got from your oppressor. You have no idea how to read. So back to everything came from us. But we can't just take possession and ownership and claim the good and then say, well, the bad. Everything came from us. So the slavery that you're dealing with, guess who was the first to enslave people? You have to own that. Who you think they learned it from? Book telling you they was in Egypt. Who you think they learned how to enslave people from? But we talking about those among us. There was a war among the Elohim, the gods. We talking about those among us that split and rebelled, the third, and what they created in their rebellion. But because of what they come from, they had some knowledge. They demonstrated it. They built artificial versions of everything that was natural. We dealing with us. Abram knew who we were and bowed down. He knew what it was. Who you think he's talking about when he say the Lord? He's talking to Sodom. Melchizedek said God Most High. Abram said the Lord God. Who you think he was talking about when he said Lord? He knew who his Lord, his master, who brought out the bread and the wine, the instruction and the teaching, who received the tenth from Abram. You don't know who you are, baby. I'm sorry. And that's why to a lot of y'all, it's hard for you to get what I'm saying to you about you. But to those of you who can and who do get it and is starting to come into awareness, all praise be to the Most High, because that's who got sent the revelation by way of the light. And I'm honored and blessed and happy and delight in being a vessel to deliver the message. That's it. Simple as that. I understand. That's all. I mean, that's the most beautiful part. Yeah, your leaders have demonstrated to you that they are not qualified to be leaders because they don't care about the sheep. They don't care about the people. They care about the corporations, not the people, the living. They govern the dead, the corpse operating, corporations. That's who they are beholden to. Let the dead deal with the dead. But the living, they can't deal with. They have no dealings with. Their policies are against life. They don't like the living, the natural people that's naturally, they don't like it. They would rather have an artificial version of your life. That way they can control it. If you wake up to who you and what you are, everything they got just crumbled and lost value. Beautiful words, brother. Appreciate all praise be to the Most High. I'm about to get up out of here and get up and go to work. Cause it ain't because it won't move without us here. That's right. We give the money value, we give the industry value, we bring the soul, we bring the light. Anybody got questions, comments, want to get on here and tell me I'm wrong, I'm blaspheming, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give you a little bit to get on up in here and tell me that. Thank you. Thank you for spending time and kicking it with me and listening. Well, I ain't just sitting here talking to myself no more. I got a few people to talk to. 13 years ago, I was talking to myself. 13 years ago, I was telling people this. They was telling me I'm crazy. I was telling them this. They was saying, where you get this stuff from? I'm telling them nobody. Then nobody. It just came. I even share with you the sensation. If you ever get on the elevator and it take you up real fast, or you get on the ride and you go up real fast, when you go up real fast, it feel like a pressure or a weight, like you're gonna be like you might sink into the floor. That's what it felt like 13 years ago. This was my rapture. And I went from not knowing this stuff, not being able to see this stuff, not being able to hear this stuff, to knowing it. Hearing it, not only knowing it, hearing it and seeing it, I'm talking about hearing it and seeing it everywhere I look from that point on. It's a different kind of sight. It's a different kind of hearing. Ever since then, it's been harder and harder for me to interact with people that sleep. And I tried with my whole heart and all my might till I had to accept that's not my place. We don't think the same thoughts. We are not, we in two different states. So it's no conversation can be had that's edifying. We can shoot the breeze. You found, but as far as having edifying, uplifting, fulfilling conversation, if they sleep, you're not gonna. But you can't resent them or be upset with them. Be happy. Embrace your calling. Embrace your position, and that's why our role is to work on the hearts and minds of the people. Not to get them to see and know how special we are, but so they can know and see how special they are, so we can gather together equally in balance. If not, one gonna have to be on top of the other. So you've lived like that, one on top of the other. That ain't how you ain't feeling it. All right, well, let's come to the gathering. But in order for us to do that, everybody got to know, at least you got to know who and what you are. At least. So yeah, we're gonna get ready. Or they turn and attack. I can't tell you how many times or how many people that came and sat at my table and ate what I set out there, what I got from my mama to feed to the people, and got through. Soon they got through eating, raised up their heel against me. It come with the territory. Mockery, betrayal, people trying to discredit you. All of this come with the calling that you have. That's why you can't make it about you or validating you. It's about the people that have an ear to hear you being reminded and woken up to who they are. That's how we separate the tares from the wheat, because there's going to be a lot of them that's going to stand in front of you and tell you something you ain't never heard before and say that's why you should look at me and follow me. No. We not on that level. But I'm finna get up out of here. I got some stuff to do, and the more I talk, the less I want to shut up. I enjoyed this today. I hope y'all did too. I gotta put this on the YouTube. This one, I might put this live. It's gonna be the next video I post on my YouTube channel. And then I'm gonna come back with the older ones. Don't worry, I ain't forgot. I ain't neglecting it. I just like to let the videos marinate. It's a lot of meat in them, and you can get a lot out of them. And if I go to putting too many on there at one time, being that they so long, I don't want you to miss nothing. I want you to get all the time that you need to look at one video, marinate on it, get tired of it. Then you'll have another one on there to do the same thing. Do you believe in the Son? I am the Son, Charlie. You the Son, Charlie. Have I been talking this whole time? and you slide in at the end, I want y'all to look at this question, y'all. Everybody that's listening to me, I want you to look at Charlie Thomas and his question. Do y'all see it? Do you believe? This is a qualifier. When they ask if you believe, what they're saying is they don't know. You don't know. It's not a matter of belief. I don't know if you have children, Charlie, but if you have a son, your son is the continuation of your kingdom. Your son is the continuation of your family line. Your son is the manifestation of your strength and your woman's wisdom or beauty. Do you believe in your son or do you know him? What about the one I'm just asking? Do you believe in your son, Charlie, or do you know him? Yeah, y'all, I got to deal with Charlie for they like to slide in at the end, man. Charlie probably done took off. But this is what they do, y'all. So next time when they comes, the name that they be talking about, Yahshua, speak it in English. So when I say I am salvation, if you have no understanding, you don't know I just said Yahshua. I am salvation. What are you being saved from? The darkness. Okay, so that's why you are called the light of the world, huh? You are the light of the world because you're going to save people from the darkness. I am salvation, the anointed one. Ain't but one me, ain't but one you. You was born, came out head first, smeared in water and blood. That was your anointing. Don't get mad at me because you don't know who you are. You believing in somebody or something. I don't got nothing to do with what you believe in at all. I know my family that I come from. I know them. I know me. I know who I am. But this spooktified version of transliteration of a translation that you got out of book, I don't know them. That's why you have to believe in them because you can't know them. You feel what I'm saying? If you should know yourself. Know yourself, Charles. It's good and wonderful that you know Jesus, you know Moses, you know Muhammad, you know Buddha. It's all in vain though, Charles, if you don't know you. Made in the image and likeness of the Most High God. If you don't know you, you can't know nobody else, Charles. Who else can you know? And you don't even know yourself. Tell me that. You don't know yourself. I know you don't know yourself because you come ask me about somebody if I know about them and if I believe in them. Do you know you? Do you believe in you? But until you do, Charles, you can't come tell me about nobody you believe in and you don't know yourself. You are bearing a false witness. You're giving false testimony of somebody you have not witnessed or experienced. But here you are with yourself, don't know yourself, and can't bear give no testimony about what you've experienced through the light of the Most High God and the power of your experience. It's a scripture in the book. It say that the dragon is at war and wrath and went to make war with a woman and her offspring and those that have the testimony of Jesus. It didn't say those that had the testimony about Jesus. It said those that had the testimony of Jesus. Do you know the difference between the two? Let me explain the difference between having the testimony of Jesus and then having the testimony about Jesus. Never forget where you heard this. A person that has a testimony of Jesus never has to have heard of Jesus. Don't even have to know Jesus or know nothing about Jesus for them to have the exact same testimony. That's confirmation. That's how things are confirmed. But in order for you to have a testimony about Jesus, even the demons can do that because they can hear the story about Jesus and repeat it, but they not giving their testimony. So that means you're a false witness. But if I give you my testimony and you go back and you read the story of Jesus and my testimony that I gave about my experiences match up with the experience being described to you about this person, then you know the testimony and the witness is true. Even a demon can tell you about Jesus, Charles. You pulling up on me telling me about somebody you know. I read a scripture that the demon said they knew Jesus. So you telling me about somebody you know don't mean you not no demon. Do you know you? That's how I know that you are at the beginning of understanding. But as long as you pulling up on me asking me if I know somebody else, Charles, I know you still sleep. I don't care how old you are, how many seminary schools you've been to, what college you went to, how many degrees you got, that you got validated, your intellect was validated by your oppressor at this school. You got this certificate, Charles. If you pulling up on people asking them if they know anybody but themselves, Charles, you sleep. And you don't need to be teaching nobody nothing out this book. You need to learn it. Then once you get through learning the book, Charles, you need to go study nature. Maybe then that'll bring you back to studying you. But you working backwards is what I'm trying to get you to understand. But that's all right, because we are here for you, Charles. We are here to give people an understanding of the book outside of the confines and the context and the doctrine of any religion. Because we know it's the religion that got you confused, got you turned upside down and backwards. But that's how you worship Satan, by the way, by doing stuff upside down and backwards. Highest form of worship is imitation. I call him the upside down backwards man. So everybody that come up with the backwards teacher in the upside down backwards move, I know who they are worshiping, whether they are conscious of it or not. You should learn. You should learn. And you're doing the right thing by learning. But the place and the best place for you to learn, Charlie, is in you. Quiet your mind. Quiet your anxieties, your doubts, and your fears, and telling yourself you don't know and you ain't the one, and maybe it is. You got to quiet all of that and go inside of yourself and just be. Just sit. Because you're listening for answers, Charles. You going in to get answers. You're not going in to do no bumping. You done bumped enough. You going in now to sit before the throne in quiet. And you going to get some understanding. Expect it. Know it's coming. Don't go in there hoping you're going to get some understanding. Go in there knowing you it's already there. You just got to go to the place to pick it up. But go in there and be quiet. Just listen. Quiet yourself. Maybe you'll start hearing and getting the answers that can't nobody else tell you but you. But man, I understand we don't know how to hear. We don't know how to read. I'm giving you signs, but you don't know how to read signs. So I get on here a lot of time and I say, hey man, I'm Leo's sun, Aries moon, Taurus ascendant. This is a sign for anybody that's in here that know how to read beyond what King James told you it was okay to think about, so that you know what's going on. But if you don't know how to read, that was jibber jabber. What did you say that for? And it's not for you. All information ain't for you. Some information, this was just for the lawyers. It wasn't for the lay people. They don't got no business picking up no law book. It's not for you to administer or interpret the law. It's for you to be governed by it. It's why you have judges and lawyers. This Bible is a law book. Old covenant, new covenant. Old law, new law. You gotta have a law because you can't have a kingdom, you can't have a nation without one. We're not talking about a religion. So you have to come out of the religion so you can understand the information. If not, you're gonna think when we say law, you're gonna think we talking about a religion, and you're gonna be talking about, well, I ain't none of the law. That means you're not a part of a nation or a kingdom. That means you are lawless. The word kingdom implies government, which implies law. It's not a kingdom without one. So yeah, you're gonna really, really have to be patient with yourself, Charles. You're gonna have to unlearn some things. You're gonna have to release the spirit of fear that they have around your religion. Cause they hit you with a lot of oils. Believe this. If somebody don't tell you the same thing we told them, let them be a curse. I always like to tell Paul, we know better than that, Paul, because we know blessings and curses don't come from the same source. So if you pronouncing curses on us, we know who the source of blessings is. Can't nobody give no blessing but the source of the blessing. So when you read about Noah cursing and Jacob blessing, I say can't nobody give blessing but the source of a blessing. Can't nobody do no cursing but the source of them. But you got a law that's dealing with blessings and curses in the same law, huh? Ain't no condemnation in grace, they say. So it's not accept this or else. It's here. This is grace right here. Here you go. What you do with it, that's on you. I'm gone. That's grace. Now, if I say here, you don't accept it, I'm gonna punish you. You better accept this or else. That's not grace. There is no condemnation in grace. That's what make it grace. They tell you they coming with some grace and it's some condemnation in it for not accepting that grace or recognizing that grace. They don't even know what it is. They shouldn't be in a church as chicken, let alone a congregation of our people. Let me get out of here, y'all. I'm gonna be in here all day. Charles, meditate, bro. Go to the Most High and think about it, and post up about it, marinate on it solo dolo. I got somebody send me a guest request. Angie, I'm gonna accept your guest request. I seen you a while back. Mic check, mic check.
How are you, sir?
What's good? What's good, Queen? What's happening?
Everything good, fam. I'm happy. I've been following the Bible. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I be confused sometimes, but I stay positive. Like, you have to stay positive. Like, we got both. We got negative and positive, but we have to stay positive if we lead into the right direction. We're leading to the right direction. We are picking up for all the people. So we have to go toward the right movement, which is positivity.
For sure, for sure. You got to have that balance.
And that's what we finna ready to do.
Can y'all see and hear me? Somebody said my screen was black for 30 minutes. Really? Was my screen black,
I
really?
hear your birds in your yard.
Yeah, I'm finna get out here and cut this old grass in a second. That's what's up. Yeah, Angie, I see you been following for a minute and I appreciate your participation. And
Hey, I love
liking and
you,
sharing.
fam. I love you. I love you with my whole heart.
All
You have
praise be
helped
to the
me
Most
through
High.
so many battles. I will face all battles. And I will be like, Corey, I'm picking up off Corey.
All praise be to the Most High. So yeah, I'm finna get up off of here. But hey, y'all, I'm gonna post this video on the YouTube. Make sure I post it on there and share this with your pastors. My videos and the stuff that I'm saying, this is aimed at your pastor and your preacher,
They don't know
not
the
you.
books, sir.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't know the
yeah. It's
books.
letting them, cause we it's gonna start at the house, and our house. You see, our neighborhoods and all our churches in our neighborhoods, we gonna have to deal with them. We got to, cause this is a gathering that's taking place. It's happening. There's no stopping it, and we
Yes.
gonna start in the house. And we got some
Mother
preachers
is
and teachers that been,
happening. Mother is going on right now. Mother is happening.
yeah.
Mother is happening. Mother is happening. I can't even calm the ma'am down. I'll be like, hey, ma'am, calm down. She'll be like, nope. I'll be like, wait a second, please.
Yeah, we returning to the matriarchy. We leaving the patriarchy. We leaving the patriarchal perspective of reality, and we coming back to the mother and the feminine or divine feminine part of God, and the manifestation of the divine feminine, which is nature and how we came through. And we can't say God without masculine and feminine energy being included. And I know that the doctrine is to support a patriarchy because you're under that
Not the
rulership,
mother. She
King
ain't
James.
mentioned none until Revolution.
Yeah, everything is, it's a pole shift happening. It's a pole shift. That's why they vilified your mother. But you about to celebrate Ishtar. You about to celebrate her. You about to celebrate. Let me show you why you celebrate Ishtar in the egg. And I'm gonna
Yes,
use your
sir.
book.
Well, I'm a
The
mammal.
story of Isaac, the birth of Isaac. In the birth of Jesus in the story, it was the Holy Ghost overshadowing Mary, or it's the Holy Ghost that provided the sperm portion, not physically, but Mary produced eggs. An egg had to be fertilized. In the birth of Isaac, Sarah was barren. She wasn't producing eggs. So the Lord pulled up on her and said, I'm going to do to you what I said I was going to do to you, and you going to bear a son. But this time he provided the egg. Abraham gave the seed, and she got pregnant off the seed of Abraham, but she got the egg from the Lord. She was
Well, we know
barren. She didn't
Abraham's
produce them.
wrong, and we know the Lord's wrong.
You got to clean yourself when, I don't know. I'm just reading comments, Angie.
Abraham and the Lord wrong. I'm a mammal. I produce things out of my womb.
There it is. They won't listen, tried years ago. And it's not to we're not trying to get these false, fake, phony, fake teachers and preachers and pastors to listen. We are putting them on notice that we know that who and what they are doing is not based on the truth. We know that they're out of position and out of pocket, and they don't got no business in no pulpit and position of authority. We letting them know we know now.
You're
And
correct.
we
And it's
gon'
causing me a
we
confusion.
gonna put it on blast.
We put it on blast. My whole work said, hey, something's wrong with you. I was like, I don't think nothing's wrong with me.
Yeah, we letting them know we know that you don't get to keep threatening our people and taking advantage of our people while you preach lies and untruths and ignorance to them, knowing you withholding information, one, and two, we know you work for the government.
Man.
We know that's who you work for. We know that's
I'll be
why you
like,
work.
gosh dang
Yeah.
it, gosh nabbit, what I'm supposed to do today? I came to your live. That's what I did.
And I sure appreciate your participation. For real, for real. I'm just looking at the comments. I don't see anybody with no questions or comments, no invites. So look, y'all, let me get to work. Get out here in this grass and in this yard. Y'all enjoy y'all evening, y'all afternoon. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Kitty, for being in here. Medusa, if you want to contribute, if you want to help us out with what we got going, please get at Medusa. She will tell you how you can get in, where you fit in, and what it is we got going. Other than
Love
that,
you, brother.
peace, y'all. Love you too. Y'all have a good one, y'all. I'm out.